Good evening, everybody. My name is Vice Admiral J.L. Galloway, Fleet 31 Commanding Officer, and tonight I'm joined by my co-host, Rear Admiral Jenny Hay, our Deputy Fleet Commander, and of course our Community Manager, Captain Scott Sterling. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
It's been a week. Not as
It,
bad as last week, but it's been a week.
yeah, it's been a month. Even though December's supposed to be a nice, hollow, jolly day month, but
hmm
it's just been one thing after another for Jay and I both, and Scott. Mostly
Yeah.
I have a lot of crap going on.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So tonight's episode, I decided to call it Holiday Bound because I want to start off the top of the show by saying we will not be doing a show next week because it's too close to Christmas. Most of you guys are probably going to be with your families. I know I will be. Plus, speaking of crazy weeks, next week is also going to be crazy for security. That's what I do for a living. So I'm pretty sure, Jenny, you might have a little craziness too in your line of work in hospitality, and
Maybe, but people should be traveling, so I don't know.
people shouldn't be doing a lot of things that they've been doing lately.
But that's just us. We're people who
Yeah.
follow the rules.
Oh, looks like we're already getting some comments.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think Kay will have something to say about that. Agent
Uh,
K. I get it. Nice, Robert. Nice. Evening, Brett. Hey, Sammy, you joined us. Sammy may not stay on for the whole night because she has to get up, apparently. 4 o'clock my time or 4 o'clock your time, Sammy? And our resident Klingon, Thomas, says hello. Or heyo.
KO. I like
Heyo.
KO.
Heyo. Hey, yo.
and he's frozen again.
Of course he is.
It's the
Uh,
Tribbles.
It is the Tribbles.
They're running the server again.
Apparently, they're running your server in your computer.
So, crew reports. What have we been up to? Oh, man. What haven't we been up to this week?
Right?
Yeah.
A few people out with COVID. So we're covering schedules. I've been working a couple graveyard shifts and then my normal shifts, and oh, that's been fun. A lot of fun with our Bates. I will try to get in there tomorrow and close out um, some of our two polls that we have open, but I will discuss one of them a little bit later on in the show. Actually, it'll be our next topic. We can go ahead and segue into it. I would like to say that Fleet 31 wants to welcome back the USS Yara back to the fleet. They are from
Yay!
they're under Commodore Greg Mortison's task group, the Oceania sector, and we're happy to have them back. Yay!
Yay!
Yay.
Welcome back. Even my dog decided.
Robert, who's that question for? Because actually, we're all in different time zones.
We're all in 3 different time zones. I,
I'm in the Pacific time zone, Pacific Standard, which I also like to call Trek Standard Time because Star Trek releases on Pacific time. Sammy likes to give me hell about that. And Jenny,
I'm in Central.
and I'm Eastern.
so let's see. Thomas, said, it seems that my issue last week was Facebook wasn't up to date. Oh,
Oh, when you had
Oh,
issues.
yep.
I remember. Okay.
I got hit with that last night or night before with a new Facebook update.
wait, there's a
Was
new
it?
Facebook update.
hmm The new design
He
of
never
it.
he never moved over to the layout. He kept the old
Mhm.
layout.
Oh, I did.
No,
No,
me.
Scott did.
Oh, Scott did. Okay.
Scott waited to the very last second until he was forced to take the new layout.
hmm
You see what Sammy wrote there? I'm not even going to dignify that with a response.
Okay, Sammy. We do the same thing to Jack.
And
Go ahead, Jenny.
I was trying to get over there.
Oh.
Hi, Anthony. That's my cousin.
Oh. Thank you for joining us today, Anthony.
Or is it Angie? One of those two. They share accounts sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Time to get down.
And then he said, oh, Brett saying I'm in the Twilight Zone.
Is that Mountain Standard Time?
I guess it depends on the day. Anybody
Or
can
are
be in the
you in
Twilight Zone.
is it Arizona that has don't one of them doesn't do daylight saving
Arizona.
times?
It's
Yeah.
Arizona. That's one of the things I loved about when I lived in Arizona.
I
Thomas,
wish. I hate this time thing. Anyways,
Thomas says the new layouts suck.
it's okay.
It's actually faster.
Really?
hmm
I've
For
had
me,
nothing but
it's
issues.
for me, it's actually faster than the older layout was.
See, for me, it was the other way around. The old
Well,
layout was faster.
the new layout is more designed for phone use than for like computer use.
Hmm. It's Anthony.
All right. Well, he's my cousin, so
Raven, thank you for joining us. Raven is a member of Starfleet International, and me and him like to pick on Steve when Steve goes on the air,
so all the
As you
time then.
should.
as we should, right? Yeah.
So all the time.
Yeah, Steve never came back on any of the challenges that we did last week on him, but
Well, he's been preoccupied
getting married and not telling
getting
anybody about it.
married and then getting all the flack because everybody keeps yelling at him that he never told anybody who's dating anybody and married. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
Mhm.
if you two get married and I don't know about it, there's gotta be there's gotta be some slack, okay? Some flack, not slack.
I'm pretty sure both our families would kill us,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and then our friends would kill us after we were even dead.
Yeah, when Raven's not at work, nice. Yeah. 18 hours I will be unemployed zone and loving
Aww,
it.
I'm loving it. Are you retiring?
That's a good question. We have to wait for the delay.
Yeah.
18 hours and unemployed. I can't even imagine what that'd be like. What's so funny? It's like you get so involved in your work, right? And you
Mhm.
keep thinking, what would it be like if I just quit? What would it be like if I just, and then when you get there, you're like, what? Like, when you actually quit, when you actually do something, you're like, now I need another job. Now instead of
No, that's
enjoying
why a
it.
lot of retired people they get so excited they retire, but then they go back and they work, part time at a retail store or they do Uber because you get lonely. There's so
Mhm.
much you can do when you stuck at home.
True.
Can you imagine if you retire this year? Like all those plans you had just kind of didn't happen.
Oh,
This
speaking
year would
of,
not be a great year to retire.
no, you just remind me of something I saw on TikTok. This lady is like vacationing in 2020, right? So it starts, the camera starts in on her face, right? And
Yeah.
you see, like, it looks like New York in the background. And then the camera starts slowly panning out, and she's doing is she's holding a chair, one of the outside plastic chairs. So it looked like she was in a helicopter, but the further she went back, and it said something like, "My husband said this is the closest we're getting to a vacation." But yeah, it looked like when it first started that she was actually in a helicopter looking down at New York.
I saw somebody who like put their suitcase on the treadmill so it acts like they're picking up the suitcase off the the luggage terminal,
Hmm.
packing the suitcase up, going outside and then turning back around, going back in the house.
Brett's saying he's going back to school. Huh.
Oh,
Oh,
Education
okay.
is very important, so definitely
it
do
is.
that. Yeah, maybe I should move the camera a little so when I point it, actually, there we go. It's weird. So the camera's now at a slight angle, or either that
Yeah.
or I'm at a slight angle.
Well, you always have sliding because you're laying on the chair. See? No, it's okay. You can lay on a chair. I'm just saying. That's why. That's
You hear it here, folks. Jenny says I
It,
can't lay
it's
on a chair.
it's the J maneuver.
the chair.
Whoa, I got my own move?
Uh-huh.
Sorry, number one. I need your chair right now.
So, are you saying Nathaniel's your number one now?
No. You're my number one, Jenny. Don't
I
forget
was like,
that.
wait a minute here. Wait a minute.
How about this? We'll make you the new head honcho. Scott could be your number one, and I could be the community manager.
No, thank you.
Okay. Actually, don't do that.
No, you can have your job.
I like my job.
I'm
What
glad you do.
Yeah. The only thing I haven't figured out, we can talk about that off the air. Well, actually, I'll just mention briefly. We can talk about off the air. It's like the only thing I don't like about the Vice Admiral pips is the fact that you have this bar, right, and then you have this little center thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then as soon as you put it on, it goes like this.
Not if you use one of
You
the
hit
like
the
the locking pin backs. It'll actually
yeah,
stay still.
Will it?
yeah.
hmm
Scott
Because
uses them all the time. Look at this ammo uniform he wears. That's what he has.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I was thinking about buying magnets instead. Can I see if
No.
I can find a magnet one?
Magnet. Okay, Scott, shall we tell the story about your
Please,
mishap?
Yes.
please.
So remember back in the it was at the 50th anniversary, they all got these really cool magnetic pins, a com badge.
Okay.
Well, Scott decided to put one on his uniform. Went the whole entire day, and his magnet disappeared. It
Ooh.
fell off somewhere.
Fell off somewhere. Went back looking real quick, see if I could find it.
Couldn't
Couldn't.
find it
Luckily,
anywhere.
I bought a couple of them because they were hard to
Mhm.
find. So I had an
Mhm.
extra one, but I'm like, no, I'm holding on to that. So when we got back to the room, I put the original com badge back on for the rest of the time.
Mhm.
Oh, jeez. So you're saying I need a special backing?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's not that special. Let's see if I can find some.
Yeah, they're not really that special. It's got
Amazon.com.
a little like Allen wrench with it, where you just kind of like unscrew it, push the pin in, and then tighten it up, and they stay still.
Called pin locks, right?
Hmm.
Okay. Thomas says, I wish I was unemployed. Oh, I wish unemployment was working right here. Been unemployed since September. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh,
Oh, sorry to hear that. Hey, we're always hiring in security, buddy. All you have to do is get your state certification.
Oh, don't talk about certifications. Oh, that was the most. I had to do training yesterday, guys,
Yeah, I
because
remember
they're
giving slack about it.
uh and because they're my company is bringing okay, basically Marriott's doing. I work for Marriott. I mean, it's a big company,
Hmm.
but they're bringing out a new platform for employees to use for like resources and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And so we had to watch a video and training on how to use this new platform. And the guy talked like this the whole entire time, and I was going to fall asleep. Yeah.
No, I can imagine. I hate when people talk monotone. You remember like what was it named? Ben Styles or not Ben
Ben
Stiller.
Stein.
Ben Stein. Oh,
Vinstein,
he was
yeah.
the worst when trying to listen. Raven says most of the time the magnets that are used for things like that are just cheap ones. It's better to replace them with high grade neodymium magnets. I'll look into this.
Okay, I'll show you. I just found some on Amazon.
Okay.
This is what Scott's talking about.
Yep.
So they're locking clasps.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, they're
Yeah,
reasonably priced.
those are very close, if not the same ones that I've got. Actually, those are the same ones that I've got.
Huh. And so
So
those
yeah.
will just screw in and just stay and put.
Hmm.
Hmm. Okay. Because I also have the 50th anniversary pin that every time I put that on, it just spins.
Yep. This should help fix that problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have the 50th anniversary Star Trek pin and then the Federation pin. Now I need to get a Klingon pin.
I just want to talk about this guy.
Go ahead.
He looks really, really happy, but the photo shoot, it's just awkward looking.
Yeah,
Or
it
is it
is.
just me?
Bueller, Bueller,
He's
Bueller,
like
Bueller.
leaning on a wood,
Uh-huh.
but he has his hand on his button like his junk is about to pop,
Yeah, but
holding his
Bueller,
phone,
Bueller.
looking. Anyways,
I know. I'm seeing it. You're right though. It's funny.
yeah.
What is Thomas saying here? Reverse the one long, incredibly unbroken
Remembering the
sentence.
sentence,
God. You had to go there, didn't you?
Captain John Lucas
Oh.
of USS Enterprise.
However, I do want to say, since we're on a little tangent here, that I have two great friends who got me the best birthday gift possible. And I'm thinking about reposting it because I think it got buried under all the birthday messages.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can bring it up real quick. We can play like
Okay.
the very beginning of it.
Sure.
Give me a moment. I have
And
to
if you
bring it
guys
up.
want to watch the whole thing, you'll have to go onto my Facebook page later.
Just give me a minute. I gotta pull it up.
Yeah, but these two great friends, totally surprised me. And then I actually had to go into the conversation I think we were discussing last week about, the interruption with my wife. Now I understand why.
Yes.
And I'm waiting.
Okay. Hold on. I had to pull it up. Okay. I have a
You
lot
do
of
the
things
audio?
open. Screen share. Share audio from tab. Okay.
Oh, let me get Thomas's message.
Guys ready?
Hmm.
Hi, Jay. It's Mary Chifo, aka Chancellor Laurel from Star Trek Discovery. Kabla! Oh, thank you, Laurel. She's very excited because it's your birthday! Yay! That's how Mary celebrates. Laurel's a bit more kabla. Thank you. We need a little bit of both, right? But yes, thank you to Jenny and Scott for booking this to help celebrate your birthday. I think we need Laurel to deliver your birthday wishes in Klingon. Yes, yes. On behalf of the entire Klingon Empire, I would like to say, Koshlij Dativ Judge, may you enjoy your birthday.
All right, what you got there?
Thank you, Laurel. Now that's pretty exciting. Now you can tell everyone that the
Yeah, that the entire Klingon Empire. That was awesome. So the whole video will be on there. It is a little long, which I'm very
It's
grateful.
9 hours. I'm 9 hours.
I know.
9 minutes long.
9 minutes long. Okay.
Yeah, which is something we were not expecting.
No, we were
were only
expecting 2 to 3 minutes, not 9 minutes.
But it's awesome. If you guys want to watch it, I will post it up on Facebook in a little bit. Or Jenny, do you want to retweet that since you already have that page open?
Yeah.
I'll have to dig out and find it. Yeah, so that was really awesome. So if you guys don't know, you can get cameos of your favorite actors by going to cameo.com and just scrolling through there. You can do birthdays. I've seen like roleplay writing fleets use it. I know that Obsidian Fleet had a couple people do it. So I mean, it just depends if you want to pay for their time, and it's a small nominal fee, right? I mean, it's not. Some
Uh,
people are
Any,
more expensive than
they
others.
range. They range between, I want to say, about 25 to, I did see Jerry Ryan was $345.
So yeah, the more
But
famous the actor,
most are around 25 to 50, I would say.
which still aren't bad.
Yeah. Especially when you're getting a custom video from an actor. You know, it's just
Yeah, Thomas, you
so
better like her. She's the mother of all Klingons.
yeah.
yep.
It's shared onto the Sender Seat page.
Ah, nice. So yeah, so for those who don't know, last Saturday was my birthday, and I do apologize. I didn't remember how old I was. I am 43 apparently.
Oh, you're 20. You're 29.
Jenny, you're a saint. Even if I was 29, I think I'd still be older than you.
I don't know. I think he's 47.
Wow, 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 Scott.
Oh, look.
Hey,
The
somebody
person
had to go there.
we need to kidnap. I mean, borrow.
JL, check your DMs. Check them.
But
Okay.
we definitely need to borrow this guy.
Oh, you know what? Here's what I'll do for you, Jenny. I'm gonna do something for you.
Oh,
Yeah, right now.
okay.
You'll see.
Okay. Anyways.
I just need to make good radio right now.
Yeah.
Come
This
on,
is
where is
great.
he?
Great radio.
There he is.
Oh, look at that. Look at the person we want to kidnap. I mean, borrow.
JL, before she said anything,
Uh-huh.
I just make sure I had audio.
We're listening to you. We're giving you the floor.
Do I have audio or no?
Yes.
You do.
Okay, I can't tell. Go ahead and check your email now, JL.
Which one? Play 31 or my personal?
I don't know. I assume it's your Fleet 31, F31 Moorhead.
Oh, that email.
Yeah.
I was like,
my
we
cat-
haven't got an email from our Center Seat one.
I'm gonna say I don't usually check that one very often.
Mm.
Well, I mean, it's my chapter email.
Yeah.
All right, give me a second to log into it. All right,
Great
Jay.
radio, great radio.
Even though we don't do radio,
Podcast.
Video
Whatever.
killed the radio star. Just saying.
it did, didn't it?
Mhm.
It did.
That's the thing. Oh, okay, Jay. Remember your password.
Is it password 123?
Jenny, you said you would never tell people.
3, 4, 5.
Oops. 1, 2, 5, 3, sir. 3.
3.
Oh, so
Nice.
speaking of that, why he's doing that, I'll tell y'all a story
Not now. Right.
about this
No,
morning.
not you. I'm talking to Google. Google, not now.
So this morning, I work overnight, and so I was just bored, and I started to watch My Pata and the Holy Grail. And I videoed a little clip, and I posted in a little chat we have. It's like, who knows this song? Who knows this? I know you're sleeping. And then I didn't say what it was. And through the whole entire morning, when Jay got up, all I responded to him were gifts from My Pata and the Holy Grail for the whole entire morning.
It was quite funny.
What did Jay do to you in return?
He tried to spend on it, trying to say about chili and avocados.
Well,
But
that's
all
because
I
you
did-
started a flame war last night or the day before, talking about what to
I don't
do
like
with
eggnog.
eggnog. Here's what you do with
You
eggnog.
throw it in the trash.
See, Russell agrees with me.
No, Russell, this is what you do. You give it to your good buddy, and that way they think, oh man, Russell, you're the greatest person ever. And they never know that you never wanted it. You look like a hero. You know?
Guess.
Tis a scratch.
But actually, I think it backfired on Jenny because like only one person came to her defense. Everybody else turned on her. Scott remained neutral, as always.
Scott eats anything. I don't know if he doesn't like anything.
Scott Switzerland stealing.
Oh, I agree with Thomas here. Never waste a nog of eggs.
Okay.
It's even better when you put a little bit of French vanilla ice cream in it.
Right? Maybe a little alcohol. Oh, look at this.
It's because we finally talk about him.
Oh, you should totally bring him on and then say my email.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Oh boy.
I'm
What
a
are we
little
doing?
worrisome.
Me too. I already read his email.
Oh.
Did you reply to it?
No. He told me to read it. I read it.
Oh, good God.
I was getting there, okay? You know, I'm kind of doing the show right now.
Oh, God. I get like emails and texts and everything else when I'm on freaking. Like, I'll probably get one here from Steve momentarily.
Yeah, maybe. Thomas is right. Eggnog and Jack. That's a pretty good combo. Crown
I mean,
Royal.
if it's Jack and eggnog, like very small amount of eggnog, that might be okay. Just depends
really,
on how
Steve?
large the amount of Jack is.
Really, Steve? Are you afraid to come on, Steve?
He might be busy with the new woman.
Probably what it is.
He has to like catch her up on like, God, I don't remember how many hours it is now of Star Trek because she agreed to watch.
Oh my.
Why? Why would anybody agree to watch that much Star
Why
Trek?
would somebody marry somebody who doesn't watch Star Trek? That's like most of your life.
Some people just didn't get because their parents weren't those type of people. They just didn't get involved with it.
There you go, babe. I know he likes Scott likes apothic wines.
Oh yeah,
He really
Apothics,
likes
yeah.
apothics.
I've never tried it. So is it good?
Well, when you come to Texas, we can get you some, or you can get some beforehand. I know you're not a big wine drinker, so.
Whoa, Howie's online. The only
Man,
thing
everybody's
better
on
than
tonight.
Eggnog is Coquita, aka Puerto Rican eggnog. Okay.
Oh, I want to go back.
I'm just
to Puerto Rico.
imagining Puerto Rican eggnog, and they're just like, yeah, we just call it that. There's no actual egg or nog in it. It's just
Yeah, it's
rum.
probably. Oh, that's
It's just Puerto Rican rum.
Maybe they have a little spice pack. Actually, I remember.
Maybe they put the spice pack around the rim of the glass, like salt and margarita.
See,
Hey, that could work.
Actually, I like eggnog in my coffee, even though I don't have eggnog.
By the next show, he'll fix that.
There's a store nearby. He goes to the store
Sure,
often.
let me go ahead and jump off right now and go to the store and go get eggnog.
I mean, if you want to, go right ahead. It's cold outside.
Hey, do you remember the last time we did our community event? We need to do another one of those, by the way.
We do.
I was actually on my phone on the way to the airport.
Yep.
That was funny. I felt like I was a field agent, going out there like, Jenny, out here in the wild.
So speaking of that, I had a dream.
Oh, boy.
About us going on the cruise and how we're panicking because none of us knew how to edit videos. Now, granted, it's a dream, so and we're all panicking because we've been vlogging the whole entire experience.
We don't know how to edit videos.
Scott can. Scott can do a little editing.
Bit of it.
He can do a little. Oh, look. It's a merry man.
God, you look tired. Have you gotten her through the original series yet?
No, I can't sit her down to actually watch Star Trek. She'll watch like 2 seconds into her, pick up her phone.
What's her favorite movie? Like regular movie? Just
Favorite regular movie, honey. And just keep in mind, it'll be broadcasted to worldwide. So
I can agree with this. Sweet Home Alabama.
Sweet Home Alabama, which I've watched.
Isn't that with Reese Witherspoon?
yeah.
Yes.
Mm,
Hi,
That's
Russell.
hey. Let's see.
don't
Sweet
think
Home
so.
Alabama. That's a tough one. Honestly,
Say.
that's a really tough one. I'll have to think about that to figure out the best episode to show her where she'll actually be interested the whole time.
Oh.
She's not. Trust me. I have a better chance of getting a dog to learn how to use his disposable thumb.
Wow.
Disposable. You gotta throw his thumb away afterwards?
Well, I
Might
mean,
be.
usually you cut them off, so. Yeah.
Well, I think Thomas's comment there is pretty just. I'm not a merry man. Raven says, "Sup, Steve?"
Hey, Raven.
But Robert
So-
was. Go ahead.
How's Fleet 31 going with the end of the year? Everything winding down, getting ready for the big push
What big push would that be?
to increase your numbers. Of
To get
course.
through Rapture.
Actually, that wasn't my big push. My big push, now that I understand your definition of it, my big push was to get an
Gotta be
actual
active
account.
again.
No, that is one. Yes, but
Oh.
no, to get an active roll call, find out who's
Yeah.
still with us. And I got that list down now, so we're up to 25 chapters. So I'm okay with that.
We had the executive committee meeting earlier,
And
so it's been a long night. We actually just approved a new position within SFI. So
wait, that's breaking.
No, it
news.
ain't mine.
SFI just approved the position.
a new one. So like SFI, just like Fleet 31, they're both top heavy and officers.
Yeah.
More than 35% of SFI is a fleet captain or above, which is extreme number.
Yeah.
So we now have, and of course, Starfleet Marine Corps, we have a sergeant major of the Corps. Well, since Gene Roddenberry built Star Trek around the naval side, naval terminology, etc., we've actually decided to constitute a Master Chief Petty Officer of SFI, and their job is to actually increase the ranks of our enlisted members. And it voted unanimously across the board tonight with the board of directors and executive committee.
Now I want
I'm
to
reverse Mustanging.
address what Mike's saying here. CAG rules, SFI rules. That's all. So actually, it is one of my topics for tonight. So might as well get that out of the way since I have.
What, you want to minimize your chat window so people can see the post?
Oh, mine just says is link to join, and it has a link to. Oh, yeah, that's a good. Spook.
Whoopsie!
There you
Come
go.
on, guys, join us.
Hey, if anybody's fast on the fly, they can jump into the stream.
Well, they could jump, but I don't know how successful. So,
Yeah, they
Steve,
can get on.
Steve
What?
Farmley,
What?
Mike Triff wanted me to point out to you that the IKS Stormblade of CAG, see 22.5 pounds of food versus SFI's donation.
Yeah, but the Constellation hasn't even put their numbers in yet, and I plan on doing that in a couple of days.
Okay. So for those who
Battleborn's
don't
already
know-
up past 100 pounds. So
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, they're doing a food donation drive
Yeah.
/ challenge. So anybody who wants to participate in that or part of those two chapters, because we do have members actually in SFI, it is not too late still to participate, right, Steve?
Nope, they can still do it. I have a member that lives up north, and he went and donated 75 pounds of food himself.
Nice.
So we're not gonna let those Klingons win. We will. No balls you won't. Balls.
Now I'm half tempted to get the fleet behind CAG and see if we can get some donations. Uh-oh, what's going on?
Dr.
there a
Pop.
cat?
No, it's Dr. Pimple Pop.
Boyfriend a cat?
Hi.
oh, Natalie has a pimple. Natalie has a pimple.
No. It's her boy toy.
We're just gonna say it's Natalie. 'Cause
Natalie,
it's funnier
okay.
that way.
I'm actually cooking dinner tonight.
What are we having?
Pasta.
It was like mac and cheese.
No.
Hey, mac and
Like
cheese is
spaghetti.
good.
I wish it was mac and cheese.
I hope he froze.
Yeah,
Who froze?
Steve did for a second.
Steven.
Parmley because he put us in the microwave.
Cooking
wonder
us,
if
how
he's
dare
trying
he?
to-
Did he at
Wonder
least
if
give us
he's-
Did he at least give us aluminum foil hats before he put us in the microwave?
Probably not.
Man, we're gonna die from radiation.
I know, right? Or by saying, or they can donate to a Klingon Assault Group to stick it to the man, aka.
Yeah, but we're still bigger and older, so it's okay.
But you
Or
know
you
what?
guys could
Or
just jump in.
donate because you are a kind human.
Or you can just do it for the love of Star Trek and the love of Gene Roddenberry's dream.
Exactly.
You can get your ass up out of that chair, make a difference, because you know Gene would be doing the same thing. But you got to prove it to people. Get up, do it, show proof, get it done. And I challenge Fleet 31 to get in on this.
Okay, when's the deadline? I got a message.
What is the deadline? I don't think there was I don't think it's initial.
I think
deadline.
it's open ended until like somewhere time next year. Let me look.
Okay.
But I challenge all members of Fleet 31. Excuse me what I'm getting ready to say, but get up off your asses. Make a difference for people during the holiday season that can't afford to actually have a Christmas dinner. Get up, donate, do it. And if you can, if you can outdo SFI, great. If you can't, it doesn't matter. It's not a I'm out to screw the other group. It's about doing it for the love of science fiction. It's the love of the human race. So get up and donate.
Exactly.
Yep.
I have to agree, guys. So one of our principles is trying to help and donate to people, especially
If you can't, there's other things you can do. Act
There's
of
other
kindness.
things you can do.
You can open the door for somebody, and that's just
Yes, open the door for Jenny. Hey, Jenny.
Uh-oh.
Jenny.
yes.
Hey, Scott.
That's my name. Don't wear it out.
Scott, I haven't seen you in a long time. It's good to see you. But tonight you're gonna be her Forrest Gump. So congratulations.
I'm used to it.
Can you believe little Jenny? I just saw a thing on this. Little Jenny's now 36 years old. The little Jenny from Forrest Gump.
Oh my gosh.
She is 36 years old.
Wow.
And they had pictures like little Jenny Gump,
I like this one, Raven.
Nice, Raven. Nice.
Hey, they said 2020 wasn't done yet, so hold my beer because we're coming in.
The Starfleet Klingon War started over a food drive in 2020.
So Jay, how many streams are you guys up to now?
This is our 32nd episode.
So I was thinking of an idea.
Uh-huh.
I was going to run by Russell later, but since Russell says I bug him too much, I'll just wait till the first.
Actually, you haven't been bugging me nearly as much as like the entire rest of the fucking fleet. So,
So I was thinking, why don't we have a night where we bring on the Fleet 31 commander, Fleet 31 deputy commander, and a couple COs from Fleet 31, and we could all talk about Trek one night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just not
Yeah.
Wednesday night.
And Jenny, you can even bring your little Forrest. It's okay.
I mean, he is a CO, so
Yeah.
What are you doing over there?
You know that. I need to check. Did your vote get confirmed, Scott? Are we
Oh.
still waiting?
We
I-
need to check that.
I haven't checked that.
Yeah.
I was just saying he's a captain, so that's why I say CO. But
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know about the other one.
Okay.
Ooh,
I know
see?
last I looked, we hadn't heard from the with the third person in
Yeah.
it.
So, Jay,
So Steve.
you want to hear something interesting? I got married, and now I have 8 kids total.
This isn't a contest, Steve.
No. And I'm a
It's never a
grandfather.
contest. I am not going to match you anymore in numbers, okay? 4 is my limit. 4.
And I'm a grandfather.
22, 20, 14, and 11.
Hey,
That's
what are the ages again?
You can't remember your own kid. Wow.
No, I can't. But I'm also a grandfather. I got a 3-month
Grandmother?
Same thing.
When did that happen, Steve?
he is in Kentucky, you know.
When my titties got bigger than my wife.
Oh.
Got bigger than my
Mr.
wife.
Stormblade Fleet 31 does not associate.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh. We're gonna get demonetized again with music.
No, hey.
All because of Steve last time.
They won't get you for the Brady Bunch theme.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, they will.
they've been getting us like crazy.
I like what Robert. I like what Robert says here. I'm glad I'm a civilian.
Robert, man, there's no civilian in Starfleet or Fleet 31.
I don't
If
think
the
he's in.
listener donated for CAG, does that mean that we dragged Fleet 31 into the food war on the Klingons? Ooh.
I can't even find the initial announcement. Like, I can find the update, but I can't find the announcement.
Russell, go to the Starfleet Diplomatic Corps page. It's on there.
Oh, of course it is.
There we go.
And
Ooh, that's a good question, Jenny. I think we got dragged into a war.
We did.
Why have public groups that are called public groups and then they be private groups?
Actually, I think it's there was something that was it 2015 or
Yeah,
2014?
Starfleet International Diplomatic Corps Public Group, private group.
Private.
Jay, you can join because you're a member, and so can Jenny.
I can't get in because apparently I'm not a member of the diplomatic shenanigan course. So,
Wait, shenanigan.
yeah, because they have a public group that's a private group. That makes
Could be.
sense.
Oh, it was probably a public page at first that went private after.
Yeah.
I think that's
Okay,
how
change
Facebook
the name.
Yeah.
Russell, you got to remember they talk about fleet business with SEC numbers and emails. That's a SFPP violation. That's why it's secured.
Okay, that's fine. Change the name.
Yeah. Don't say public. Say private group.
The Brady
No,
Bunch is a
it's allowed.
bloodthirsty group. They are Klingon. They are all Klingon spies, according to Raven. Raven, you need to be on the show more often, my friend. What did Tom? Oh, Thomas's is long here. Actually, I did say it all. Give a card to the Borg. Some put the video facts. Okay.
I misread the
Wait.
video as this video fart, and I was like, "What?" I farted in your general direction.
See, there's earlier prime divergence than that.
Yeah.
Future's End from Voyager establishes a paradox that totally
Mhm.
jacks up the prime universe. So
Don't forget about Threshold.
Oh, Jay,
Steve.
something you may be interested in. We're actually going to be launching a fleet-wide role-playing page.
I'm already in a fleet role playing group.
That's
No,
gonna be awesome.
Bravo don't count.
I'm not in Bravo Fleet.
That's gonna be awesome. A fleet role playing page. So
Yep.
a page full of people that want to play role playing games but cannot coordinate their schedules to meet at one time.
Exactly what I was
Mhm.
thinking.
Because that is the curse of role playing games.
I joined a guy who wanted.
BTS.
What's
I joined
that?
a guy who wanted to do a Star Trek role playing group,
Hmm.
and I was like, okay, cool. But then he started. He was doing strong, and then it just disappeared because he couldn't get enough people, and he couldn't get people to agree on a time.
Robert Reyes says, I mean, my STO ship to USS Gina Grad, but I haven't played in a while. You should play Star Trek Online, Robert.
Also, Robert, are you a part of either Fleet 31 or
Nope.
SFI?
Just a friend. Just a friend.
I need to get him to join us.
No, just Robert. Robert. We're not
Robert's a
gonna
sweater guy, and that's all we all know him from. The red sweater guy. That's how we know him
and
from.
he has his own podcast,
And
it's
he
a
has his own
cool show.
podcast, the Promenade podcast. Yeah.
Yes. Which, if Robert wants to plug his link again, I would be more than happy to display it.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
What did you say, Steve, before you walked off?
I said you can be CS if you want it.
No, I'm just saying, like, how many D&D groups have you been a part of in your life?
Well, two very disastrous ones.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did they
Bravo.
ever complete the campaign?
PromenadePodcast.com. Thank you, Scott, for finding that.
You're welcome. I do believe that is the correct link. Robert, correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Scott's
No, I
not
think
wrong.
that one is
You
right.
want to know why
I think
Scott's
I've
not wrong?
listened to that podcast before.
You want to know why Scott's not wrong? Because someday he's going to put a ring on it.
46 minutes in. Wow.
Wow. There you
You
go.
waited 46 minutes.
Reset the clock.
Yeah, you need to put a ring on it. You need to make her an honest woman.
I love how putting a ring on a woman makes her honest.
Not in this day.
I was very sad.
I don't know who Jenny is, but
like,
I hope I get that check still.
I was gonna say, when he said that, I was half expecting a couch cushion to go flying across the house. Like,
Me too, actually. I was, Russell. Wow. Why did I feel like I lost total control of this tonight?
Because 2 other random people joined us.
Yeah, buddy.
thanks.
The night that I can't stay out too late or stay on late because I work tonight.
Hallelujah.
Wait. They did convince you to go into work?
I've always had to work. They just want me to work 12 hours instead of my 8 hours.
Oh, wow.
Hallelujah.
Well, that sucks
All right.
because once they got you there, you're basically hoodwinked.
Mhm.
The role play, that's how one of the ships I'm on works. We're trying to get to. Oh, yeah, Zodiac Fleet. Yep, I'm also a member of them, too.
I was a long time ago.
No, Zodiac Fleet's a different fleet, Steve.
No, I know.
Okay,
This is
so,
Zodiac Fleet Online.
yeah.
Same time Bravo Fleet was.
The problem is you can never win at D&D. You can only play till your PC dies.
Yep.
Genia has got a gun.
I don't know who Genia is. Or Jenny. That's not how he spelled my name.
Run, Jenny, run.
I'm about to say, I was a member of Bravo Fleet, but before that, I was a member of Tango Fleet, the
I remember
original.
Tango. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember Tango. We stole a lot of information from them when we did Omega Fleet.
Yeah, you rat bastards stole all my ribbons. Thank you.
Hey, not me, bitch.
That'd be Josh
Joshua
Hannah.
Hyna. Joshua Hyna.
Dude, I sent that dude so many emails. I'm like, dude, you could just ask for permission. I would have given you the original so you didn't make them look like complete crap. But
Oh, the good old days. We're talking, guys. What we're talking about is like what, about almost 15 years ago,
20
20 years ago. Wow, 20 years ago.
Tango
You've been
Fleet
writing-
like dissolved
Yeah.
like in 90 or 2003.
Yeah, Jay, it's been damn near 20 years ago, dude.
Man.
Yep.
I'm getting
Well, guys,
old.
I got to go. I got to finish dinner and hang out with the kids and wife. Y'all have a good night.
All right,
Night.
man.
Right.
Night.
Wow.
Good old Steve.
20
And you didn't
years
even
ago.
say my email on the screen. Probably would have given him a stroke.
He didn't give me a chance. So, do you want me to read it, or do you just
Yeah,
want me
you
to
can.
talk to them?
You can just tell him because it's pretty cut and dry. Like,
Okay, so Russ here wants to start up a chapter in Hill Country.
Oh.
Yeah,
this is before you said anything, Jenny. So
Oh.
yeah, it is. In Hill Country is where exactly?
San Antonio.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Okay.
It's the beautiful part of Texas.
yes, it is.
I mean, San
Where
Antonio
Fiesta-
is. You know what? I'm not gonna agree. It's really pretty down there.
Yeah, depends
Hey.
on where you're at and at what time of the year. But
That's true. That's very
like right
true.
now, there's not too many pretty places here. But in the fall, oh yeah,
Fiesta. I like Fiesta. I almost had a near-death experience with Fiesta, Texas, but
that's no bueno.
When I went, okay, so last time I went to San Antonio,
Mhm.
it was my friends. We did a one last hurrah spring break before my friend had a 1 year. She was doing veterinary school, and so this is her last like actual spring break because the next year was all residents training, kind of like doctors and stuff. And so we did like a little spring break. We went to San Antonio. We went to the Riverwalk. We stayed at a hotel that once was a jail from the 1800s.
okay. The Terran is saying all the United States is pretty. I'm a little worried when the Terran comes on and says, that all the United States.
Brian, you cannot tell me that you think Goldfield and Tonopah are pretty. Remember, I'm from Nevada. I know that place.
No.
Even
Yeah.
Henderson's ugly.
There's some really pretty places in the U.S., but not all of the U.S. is pretty.
Yeah, there's some nasty looking places in the U.S.
Yeah, there is. Sadly, Thomas is saying he started his simming career 20 years ago. Thomas, I think we all did. It's just a sad realization that it was 20 years ago.
You
that
know
I
what? I
started.
think back when I did simming, but ours was like through chat simming. Remember those days where you?
hmm
Yeah, I did that
old-
when I was younger.
Yeah, the old IRC days. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember those days.
Gosh.
What is Weimer? No love for Weimer.
Weimar?
Weimer?
We
I don't
Weimer?
know. It doesn't ring a bell to
Weimar?
me.
Maybe the ice.
Oh,
Maybe the.
Weimar, Texas, maybe?
Oh.
There probably is a place called Weimar, Texas.
But he's in Cali.
Yeah, he's in Cal.
There is a
Is it-
Weimar, Texas.
I mean,
It's
there's
in
a
between
Paris,
Houston
Texas,
and
so-
San Antonio. Actually, that would be a pretty nice area. It's right near Gonzales and such.
Raven says it best. It's all pretty if you're drunk enough.
Yeah, good point. Let me see. Weimar, California. I think there's a Weimar, California, too. I think it's near Napa, if I recall. No.
He's over by. I think he's over by Long Beach area. I think that's where he's at.
There is. It's on
has family
I-80
there.
somewhere.
In
He has a
Texas,
family. I'm assuming Texas.
I'm assuming too. He's coming to Texas next year, hopefully.
Texas is the place to be.
Yes, it is. Too bad, Jay, and then we don't have enough trip. Too bad we won't have enough time to dry down and we can go visit Russell.
Oh, okay. Weimar, yeah. No, that would be very pretty. That's in the Sierras. It's near Twin Pines, Eden Valley,
Oh,
Place-
okay, yeah, that would be
Placer
pretty.
County. Yeah.
And it looks like Mike is even older than most of us. He started role playing back in 1991.
Well, he is a Klingon.
Yeah. With his Klingon walker.
I'm trying to think. I want to say my first RPG for Star Trek was probably, I can't remember the name of it. It was a little one online, and it was on a little ass website. I'm trying to remember it. It's been
Hey,
so
Mike.
long. It was on a simple web website. I remember that much.
Hey, Mike, you want to feel old? Listen, look what Thomas just wrote there.
Thomas, if he were on my ship, I'd have him scrubbing toilets right now.
You mean emptying the waistband out of the holodeck?
Did you look it
Oh
up?
yes,
Russell?
that's right. We lowered.
Oh, you can't find it no more.
Okay.
It was a simple website. I remember I found it because they had a mahjong game that you could play, and it had just, instead of having the normal tiles, it had pictures of the Star Trek characters. And then one day I just looked on it, and it had a forum, and it had a role play forum, and then that's how I met Thomas Marriott, and then he got me involved with Tango Fleet.
Oh, okay.
So
Coming
I
this
don't know
fall,
how I came
PBS
across
All
mine,
Access,
but
Walker, Klingon Warrior, followed by Klingon. Was it Trailer Park Klingons?
yes,
Sammy said that last week.
Trailer Park Klingons. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm waiting for the stand. to
Tango
come out.
Fleet is a
One more day. Go
Wait,
ahead.
You heard of Tango Fleet?
Tango Fleet is one I haven't heard in a long time. For me, it was Alt Starfleet RPG, followed by Star Trek Frontiers.
I can't
Klingon
remember.
Walker.
I
what
remember Frontiers. I used to read that one because I can't remember which was, because there was like 2 or 3 running games on that one, right?
Yeah, for us, we were an offshoot of ASR back when it split up.
A Call of Duty.
It's like they split up, became Gypsy Fleet, and when Gypsy Fleet didn't survive, several of us went over and formed Star Trek Frontiers, which ultimately we took back to ASR.
Nice.
But we actually had like 3 or 4 fleets. I think we were up to about 15 sims at one time.
And I think Tango, it's been a long while, but I think Tango was up to around in that number too for a while.
Bravo was always the largest, wasn't it?
Now it's one of the smallest.
It became
So
one of
is
the
ASR.
largest. They didn't have, the thing with Bravo was, I remember, is they were a lot more open with what you could do.
They
Like Tango
were-
was very structured. I remember
They were,
that
but
much.
now Bravo Fleet really turned more into a social club. Most of them, Bravo Fleet did a split a year ago, about almost 2 years ago now, and they started up 22nd Fleet, which is where the bulk of old Bravo Fleet guys are now. That are still with Bravo Fleet. I
Now-
decided to resign and go independent.
Now, Galloway, what's the name of the group you're with?
I'm not. I said we're independent.
He's independent.
Well, it's independent, but what's the name of the sim?
Oh, Vidal Fleet Yards.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, for
That's
us,
the group name.
the several of us or a few of us that were writing together for Frontiers and ASR actually formed Alliance Central Command in Star Trek Online, and we will write some interactive fiction stories that are more standalone from that universe, using the same characters that we used to use in the original sim, because it just so happened that the year that Star Trek Online takes place in lined up with the year that we used to write in. So it was easy to take our characters back and do one of those things where something
Probably.
happened and changed the timeline. How would your characters have ended up in this
Okay.
one?
So, for those who don't know what a sim is, they mean simulation. So, it's another fancy way of saying role playing.
Yeah.
But you role play as a character, but in writing format versus just voicing or playing on a computer game. Because I've also seen role players on Star Trek Online too. They actually do have role playing fleets. I don't know how popular they are anymore, or if they're still.
But they're still out there.
They're still out there. I saw one actually the other day at Drazana when I was there.
Okay.
Hmm. If you go to the right places like Drazana and Deep Space Nine,
Mhm.
and sometimes some of the war zones, you'll run across them. But it's a lot of fun. For
They have a lot
those for those of you that were with that used to do writing with the Sims and such, or do simulations, did it ever get to a point that you wrote so long with the characters that it almost felt like they were friends of yours? If that
Yep.
makes sense.
Mhm.
It's like they get their own history.
Like my friend Howie, who was on a little bit ago. I've been on his sim for almost 4 years now, and I told him in 2 more years I'm moving to my characters off his sim and moving them onto my primary sim. And he's like, "Why would you do that?" It's like they need to progress, they need to advance. I mean, I will replace them with new characters, but I mean, they are. You grow attached to your characters, and they can't always stay a 7-year ensign. You know, they have to
This is
move
true.
on at some point in their career,
Unless their last name's Kim.
Yep.
or hey,
Oh, he just had a birthday.
Jenny.
That's
You're
true.
trying to.
I didn't have a birthday. My birthday's coming up, but no. But Gary Wong just had his birthday. Was it yesterday?
Oh,
And then his girlfriend, fiance, wife, his
okay.
partner, but it was the day before yesterday.
So Thomas started the Potemkin in SLA when it was still around, he said. And yeah, Garrett, happy birthday if you watch.
We Raven has brought up an interesting thing when she talks about Star Trek Adventures. You can do these games online. In
Yeah.
Fleet 31, we literally need to do a fleet group that is a Star Trek Adventures sim. We need to find someone to lead it and go from there. I've actually got a lot of the books and such already. All we need is the environment to do it and the people.
Yeah,
I've
looks like-
never done one, but I always wanted to do more of an RPG type thing, and I signed up for one, but that's the one that I said I signed up for, but then nothing happened.
Mm.
But the problem is, we get a whole bunch of people who love it, but trying to get it all in one time and date,
yeah.
everybody's schedule is
Yeah, that's always the problem.
Now, that was the nice thing about the Sims that we would end up doing, especially if you were writing, is you would write your part and then someone else would write theirs. But the downside is if you got into a group that wasn't active, then you would write your part and you would wait and wait and wait and wait for them to do theirs.
Yeah.
So the group was either really good or it was really slow and almost dead. And sadly, that's the way that they went. And I wish that there were more of them around. Since we've gotten into live gaming and such, it's kind of disappeared. But it was a creative outlet that, for me, honestly, I became a photographer or a photojournalist because my schooling was in human services. I used to work with the developmentally disabled. It's what I was schooled in. But then I realized how much I enjoyed photography and journalism because I actually had a character that was a journalist in one of the Sims that I did. And I realized how much I enjoyed it. And so I actually started doing it in real life.
Nice.
And on top of that, when I started writing stories, the editors were always liked the style of writing that I did, for my photo columns and things like that. They said it was a unique style they'd never seen before. It actually was born from writing these stories. So,
and let's not forget that you've also been a voice actor for Gates of Stovacor.
which one of my Hauk is actually one of my original characters from that was born in ASR and moved over to Starfleet, Star Trek Frontiers. He actually was one of the fleet commanders for a long time.
So Raven says that he has all the books in a PDF format. Okay.
Yeah,
Tom-
so do I.
Yeah.
I have them actually
Same.
all printed too. So
Then Thomas says, I wouldn't mind finding an STO roleplay fleet in STO, to be honest. Okay.
they're kind of
If
tough
you-
to come by.
Mm-hmm.
But if you actually go and search into fleets sometime, the same place you'll see where your friends are online. If you look under the fleet tabs, you can actually see some of them will be listed as RP, or you can search for
Also,
it.
if you can't, just type in like one of the Star Trek Facebook groups. There's like 8 million out there. I bet you one of them knows of a group that can get you in contact. And that's
Or-
anything, guys. If you need help or anything, if you don't want to join Fleet 31 or SFI, and you just need help with anything, just go to one of those pages. I'm telling you, us Trekkies will help you no matter what. We don't care.
Mhm. It's
If
true.
you need help with a cosplay, if you need help with doing STO, there's great groups out there. Scott and I are in part of a group called the Massive. Is it Massively or Massive?
The massive.
Yeah, the Massive Fleet for
Is
STO
that
Online, and
from
they're
Massive OP Publishing?
No,
no. This is a fleet for STO, but
Okay, they're
they're always willing to help you.
okay.
Always, and just like I said, just go out any random Star Trek page. I'm pretty guaranteed that somebody there is going to help you.
Or
Someone
if
helped
you-
me with my Captain Proton cosplay. I just posted on the group page there.
Oh yeah. What you just said with the Captain Proton, it always amazes me how creative people can get in Star Trek Online with the tailor and with the uniform options
Yeah.
and the characters you will see them create. From Superman to Batman to Homer Simpson's, I think has been kind of overdone, but it's like all of them. But my favorite one that I have seen recently has been one of the characters from Assassin's Creed.
Wow, really? Somebody did that in game?
Yes, and they
Wow.
basically used the Vaudoir outfit, and they pulled the hood off of what is the name of the outfit or the race that has the real poofy outfit that you could buy from the Lobby store? It almost looks like it's a clown type outfit. The hood off of that, you can put it on the Vaudoir, and if you color it right, it'll actually look like the Assassin's Creed.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Lobby Store, did you notice that they lowered some of the uniform prices?
No, I didn't, and I will go look after I finish here.
Well, like for example, the Kirk jacket from the Wrath of Khan is now reasonably priced.
Oh, what is it?
I think it was like 200. Before
That
it was really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
That explains why I'm starting to see a lot more of them around. I noticed that I'm starting to see a lot more of them in games, especially with the winter event going on.
Mhm.
All right, I have to ask, what is that comm badge that you're wearing?
Mine?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the Battleborn's comm badge.
Oh, nice.
It's actually
good.
our ship. Like, it's kind of hard to get it, but like, here, let me take it out and try to put a filter or something on it so it doesn't gloss as much, but they're enamel.
Ooh, that is pretty.
Ooh, that's
Ooh, yeah.
pretty.
That is really cool.
That's really
Yeah.
pretty.
But yeah, we had these made up a little while ago, and not too
And
bad.
where's your ship based out of?
The Battleborn is based out of San Antonio, Texas. It's the sector or the Region 3 flagship of Starfleet International. So.
I'll try not to hold that against you. And I say that speaking as also captain of the Stormblade with CAG. We are at war, sir.
Yeah, I know. We
And-
got dragged into it. We got dragged into it, Mike.
Yeah.
And by the
apparently we
way,
have.
yes, unfortunately, you will notice that when I dropped off the stuff for the Stormblade, that I was wearing my Calypso shirt and Calypso mask. So
Right there.
Nice.
there you go. If you notice in the picture where I'm over by the food bank side, see the shirt and see the
Yeah.
mask. Yes, you are officially dragged into this war. Unless you seek to dismiss me as captain of the Calypso, but tough luck, dude.
Yeah, I don't know if the ship's still around, but I know I used to be a member of another ship called the High Roller in Nevada, and most of the crew were on. I'm trying to remember, it was Ring of Fire Fleet in
I remember that.
CAG, and they were, I think it was the Silent Warrior was the name of the ship, but yeah, there was a bunch of my good friends that were on that, but I never got into the CAG thing personally.
I love CAG. One of the things though that I wish CAG would and to my CAG superiors that are out there, just cover your ears for a second. I wish that they would take a lesson from like Fleet 31 and other groups that are out there. I'm not going to say Starfleet International or anything, but it's
Not while you're at
like
war.
I feel like there's too much emphasis that's placed on the actual wearing of the uniform and the cosplay and such, which I believe when you're Klingon, it does have a huge role. But there is so much more to being Klingon than wearing the makeup and all of that. And so it's like when it comes to your promotions and things like that, I don't believe it should be tied to you wearing a uniform or you wearing that makeup. I feel like it should be your heart, your spirit, and how much you're helping your chapter, the group, and
Yeah.
others.
Yeah, I was gonna say be careful
So-
because Chris might hear you because he's in my friends list. So,
That's why, yes. But I am with CAG for a reason. I really love the
Right.
group. I love the organization. And you can ask JL up there. I have been a lieutenant with them for a long time.
I've been a
And
Lance Corporal with them for a long time too.
in fact, you and I were talking about CAG rank and everything, and it's like I'm a member of the group. I don't really care much about rank being promoted or anything like that. It's window dressing. It's whoever the group wants to lead them, if that makes sense. But what I like is we're Klingons.
I like
And
what Raven said.
what was it she said? Or
Ra-
what did Raven
Raven
say?
Earlier.
I said earlier, Starfleet Klingon War started in 2020. We are watching the first shots be fired.
Yeah.
All right, now we can move on to Thompson's
yes,
comment.
it's still live, Greg. Why are you still up? Oh wait, the sun's
Well,
up there. I keep forgetting that.
We'll get to Greg in a second. It should be about honor, not money. Yeah, I mean, I get where CAG's coming from, and I don't want to like open any wounds, but there's more to, like you're saying, Mike. There's more to it than just putting on a uniform.
Mhm.
Because I have a Fleet
Right.
31 uniform. I have Star Trek uniforms. I don't wear them every
Mhm.
day,
Mhm.
but I do wear. I mean, I do put them on from time to time, and I guess I could technically wear mine when I come on a podcast, but
And don't
the
get
only
me
thing
wrong.
I'm not
And
wearing the
don't
helmet.
and don't get me wrong. There are a lot of members of CAG that are there strictly because they are Klingons. And the emphasis is on being Klingon. The uniform for a lot of people is a part of how they do that. But I've seen several people that for them, it's just about cosplay. And they're two different things. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm not laughing at your comment. I'm laughing at Brett's comment here.
I mean, we're not like that lady who put a bad name, I believe, a bad name to us Trekkies. What was her name? The lady who went to work in her uniform and then she had to do a court hearing and she was in her uniform.
Oh, her. Yeah.
And she was on Trekkies, the documentary.
Oh yeah.
Seen
What
that.
was her name? I actually met her. Surprisingly, she was at a con as a guest.
Huh.
So I
Seen
actually met
worse.
her.
Seen totally worse.
But
No, this lady lived
oh
and
my god,
breathed.
yeah,
I
eat,
wouldn't
lived,
be
and breathed.
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if her house wasn't designed as a Trek.
There
And
is
she
a
ran a fleet. She ran a starfight club, which is fine. And she on the documentary, she had somebody come over and they went and did a away mission to Area 51, and they won a drawing of a real alien.
Oh wow.
Oh, nice.
It's not a Trekkies episode, so. And so, speaking of Klingons, y'all continue. I want to find this thing I showed to Jay
Comment
the other
said,
day.
if I could have a Klingon uniform, any type, I would wear it. You know, a lot of the uniforms nowadays are starting to become a little less expensive because you can practically get them
Mhm.
anywhere.
Mhm.
Okay,
Like
Amazon has.
Amazon.
I saw on Amazon when I was doing my Christmas shopping because, yeah, I'm that person. They had now it's a jacket, but it still looked really nice.
Mhm.
The lower decks jacket for $20 on Amazon.
Yeah.
Now I don't know how good quality it is, but
And you really won't know until you actually pick it up.
or you
Right.
read the reviews.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I
there's
wanted to.
there's a bunch of things with costuming that you can get like now with Etsy and Amazon
Mhm.
and honestly, there's a lot of stuff that can be done now. There's so many tutorials out there from LARP and from cosplayers and everything under the sun. Like, I've started working on a Mirror Universe Discovery uniform with the EVA foam for the armor. So I mean, it's just a lot of it's the means of going about and making it is becoming more accessible,
Yeah.
more than anything.
You know, one thing I like about a lot of groups,
I like that.
and I'm betting that SF. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm betting SFI is the same way. It's like Fleet 31 and CAG. When you dress in a uniform, it doesn't matter how elaborate it is. It doesn't matter how perfect it is. It's more about the having fun of doing it.
Right.
And
That's
it's
why
like,
I cosplay. I don't. Oh, sorry.
and it's like the Klingons that I see in CAG. It's like not all wear ridges, not all have ridges, and when they do, you have different levels of grade as to what they are, and it
Right.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, and that's the way it seems with the fleet as well, and a lot of the groups that are out there. In fact, I'm not sure. Have you guys ever run across a fleet or an organization that's like any of ours that they actually do want that polished perfection and will judge
Yes.
you if you don't? So they are
Yes.
out there.
501st. He used to
Yep.
be a member.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
like,
I have
They
friends
literally
that
straight
follow
tell
this.
you, "Oh, that's the wrong grenade canister on the back of your belt.
Yeah,
It's
they're
off by about 3/4 of a millimeter. We're not going to authorize you as a member." It's
they
like,
are
do you
very
think-
strict about screen accurate
But
uniforms.
but
Do you
these are
think
cadet-
do you think LucasArts has anything to do with that?
no, they
Do you
don't.
think it's just and
It-
is the Rebel Alliance the same?
No.
Okay.
It's pretty much 501st. Rebel Legion kind of does it, but it's a little easier to get by with Rebel Legion stuff, like because it's more broad spectrum. But like every Stormtrooper armor is identical in the first 3 original movies.
Yeah.
It also
There
depends
was
on-
no difference in sizes. They was all the same molds. So 501st just says, if you're going to be a member and you want to be one of the people that's called up to do the birthday parties, to do these events with the rest of the 501st, your accuracy has to be tip top, to the point where like they'll only want you having certain companies vocal modulators.
Yeah. Well, what I was gonna say is I'm looking at a couple different Klingon uniforms. It all depends on how much you want to spend. Like I see one that's really inexpensive here, not great quality, but you're getting what you pay for. I mean, versus you can look at one of the other ones above it, which is a more of a mid grade, and it's like $50 to $70 or $60 to $70 versus the 22. It all depends on how much you want to spend and how much pride
Now,
I guess you take.
I've seen someone take that like $22 one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that probably right there is not. Oh
Yeah,
no, that
this one
probably
is
is.
This one's over expensive. It's like $80.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
no
it
better
doesn't
than the
look-
That
$22
$22 one, I've seen people take that one or ones like that and dye them darker, and then just add to them. Like use EVA foam to add to them, or they go at it with a sewing machine and
But you know what? That for $22, that is not terrible.
Yeah.
No.
It's not terrible at all. I mean, I've seen a lot worse.
And
it's a little better than a Ruby's. I've seen that one. It's a little better than a Ruby's costume.
But please, if you're going, this is a pet peeve of mine. I hate when people do this. If you're going to enter a costume contest, you must do at least, I'm going to say 90% of the costume yourself.
Yeah.
Don't go buy yourself a Ruby's costume and enter the costume contest. It makes the people who work extra hard, like I think most of us, we all make ours, or we try to, or we get good quality stuff.
Well, I never enter the contest because I always buy mine.
Right, but
I'll
this
enter the
is
parade.
so
I'll enter
mad.
the parade, but I will
Yeah, the
not.
parade's different. Parade's just well for STO, which I don't know what's to be called STO anymore. But anyways, yeah,
Do you
that's fine.
feel-
But the parade's at 8 a.m. on a Sunday. Who wakes up at 8 a.m. on a Sunday? On a con weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually.
Why not? Are you going to miss out? I mean, it's
Okay.
like you can sleep when the con's over.
See,
Yeah, you don't go to
I'm
bed
big
till
on
2 or 3 in the
cons
morning.
on Sunday morning. Here's why. I got a resin kit for a phaser rifle from a vendor. The guy had been trying to sell it for like $320 the entire con. And he was relying on selling a lot of his stuff to pay his drive back. I ended up picking that thing up for like $130.
Now, granted, yes, I do like shopping on Sundays at cons because
Yeah.
that's usually you get good deals because they don't want to take it home.
Now, Greg brings up a good point. Because of their high standards of 501,
Mhm.
they got featured as extras in The
Mhm.
Mandalorian.
Yeah,
Greg
that's
is
Yeah.
true.
Greg's also
They have a
501st,
relationship
isn't he?
like that. They do have that sort of relationship with Lucas or Lucasfilm
And Disney.
and Disney, is that they're recognized for the fact that they do take that extra step for authenticity.
Mhm.
But at the same point, they tout themselves as a fandom club.
Yeah.
But in reality, they're a cosplay group with very, very high standards. And don't get me wrong, they have their niche and they like what they do, and
Mhm.
more power to them. They raise a lot of money for charity. They do a lot for
They have
the
some
community.
really cool scenes that you can go get pictures with,
Mhm.
and sometimes they'll have professional do photos with you, or they'll have people with you take pictures.
Mhm.
And the scene's really cool. I mean, at cons I've gone to, they have like a whole entire section of the convention
Mhm.
with all kinds of different props that people have built, and it's nice. It's nice for those young kids you're taking to cons,
But
and
ju-
they get
go ahead.
to see Darth Vader and get a picture of him, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
I
on the
have
same, I was gonna say it's the same sword, but we have a ship here in Region 3 in SFI. The majority of their crew are former 501st that were fed up with the internal politics of that organization. So
I know some Mandalorians that went and became Mandalorians just because they didn't want to
Mhm.
deal with the politics of the 501st. But I have a
think I
lot
know
of
one of
friends that are in the 501st.
I do.
Literally, it's like I have several living in this area, and they are good friends. And in fact, one of them she's a member of the ship that I'm on. So it's really cool. They actually are the ones they almost had me into 501st, but it was putting together that armor and knowing that you had to do it to that accuracy. That was one of the stumbling blocks I kept running into. So I ended up doing a Jedi robe. I mean, did my Jedi robes, and I had my Jedi outfit ready. But as soon as I had it ready, then COVID hit. And I just haven't gotten around to getting with the photographer to actually do the required photos that you got to have to be approved. I just got to go through the approval process. But I have 2 words for you: Klingon Jedi.
But
My friends and
actually,
I, we want to do a Starfleet Jedi mashup one this
hey,
year.
Michelle Herbert did one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Her and
Yes.
David Chang did a
Yep.
So
Eddie.
Addie's here, and Addie and I are both in agreement. Jenny, you're crazy for not liking eggnog.
Oh my God, I'm with Jenny on that. Eggnog,
See?
no.
Oh, there's
Mike,
two
I'm
people
sorry, but
in
you're gonna have to leave now. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's been a great having you. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
Greg probably likes eggnog because he's from the Northeast.
It's not bad.
Yeah, see. So we're even.
No. Australian eggnog has rum in it.
I'm about to say the
But it's
Australian
American
eggnog.
eggnog.
Is there any egg or nog in it? Is it just rum?
Well,
Called
it's got
eggnog.
nog. I put a bit of Ferengi in it.
Yeah.
I grind them up really well, you know.
Oh, we don't talk about Nog like that. Rest in peace,
Oh,
Nog.
I'm only talking about Nog because he probably lived a long life, you know.
Mhm.
The actor, well, rest in peace. Yes.
Well, no, we've established what happens to Nog.
What
happened?
happened?
Season 8 of DS9. He dies the first episode.
No.
So yeah, if you
I
guys
have
haven't
to-
seen it,
You know, I am one of those rare people that consider Star Trek Online canon. It's soft canon. But literally, I look at it and I look as Nog as being one of the great captains because of that.
during the Iconic
But I thought
War.
we'd missed the
Yes.
bean.
Yeah.
No, I got out there and
If it weren't for him,
See-
we would have lost.
Star Trek DS9 Season 8, the way they kind of play it, it could be that STO kind of did happen. It's
Hmm.
just what happens to him in that episode sucks. Like, and it's hard to watch that. I can't even watch that miniseries really anymore. I have to skip that scene.
What is the
Because
name of the ship that's
The
in that?
Emmental.
And sorry to have interrupted. You were saying?
No, you're good. No, it's the Emmental, but no, like I
Still
have a
loud.
close relationship with
Don't get
Aaron
that
Eisenberg.
skipping off
We
right
used to talk about photography all the time, and I remember when he got his transplant, when he met Melissa, and it's just it's a tough topic when you're looking at him in a documentary, and he's like, don't kill Nog, and then you realize, oh, he passed, like, at the time when I saw it was like 2 months prior, and I was just like, God,
Why did
Time
you kill
sucks.
Nog?
yeah. So it's like they killed Nog and he passed. It's like the
Yeah.
double hit.
Yeah.
But
Can you be quiet now?
Although
What
I
kind
was
of
getting
what kind of photography?
I
say
do
you-
I like doing landscapes and wildlife. He did a lot of candids. He did a lot of landscapes as well. Not so much wildlife unless he got it in frame, but he was really bigger into landscapes and candids. So
Well, I guess we're all in good company because Leonard Nimoy also was a photographer, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah, he liked nudes.
I mean,
But he
what man
also-
wouldn't like nudes?
I'd
But
been
with
to his
him, it
house in South Lake Tahoe. Yeah, he liked nudes a lot.
But with him, it was more about capturing women and people as they are, not as the ultra thin stereotype. He wanted real people. If I
Oh yeah,
remember correctly.
he took pictures of everybody, but his thing was he looked at how he said it one time to me at a convention, because I used to be his gopher
Nice.
when I would work with Creation Con as a volunteer.
Can you shut up?
And
Yes, sir. We
his-
will shut up. Thank you.
his biggest thing is he was like, the human body's beautiful, and what you see in a person when they are naked, when they have nothing to disguise them, is the way he would put it. You saw deeper into them. You saw more of them, not just like physically, but you could tell emotional states better and such like that.
Alex,
And in some cases, like, that's not my type of art, but I can see what he's saying in some of his.
come quietly.
yeah. So guys, Jenny has to leave us here in a few minutes.
I
Aw.
got 7 minutes. I have to work tonight.
Yeah. I do want to point out that Addie is absolutely correct.
Oh, Addie. That's okay. I am crazy. Thanks.
Who wants
She's
to be
also
made
the
in
power
heaven?
behind the throne.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
I am the queen.
And
You need to get her. Galloway, I'm beginning to think that maybe you aren't the one that needs the Spock helmet. Maybe we should have one made that says Queen on it and give it to her.
Or have them both wear it.
Craig, you can 3D print it.
I'll wear it.
Oh,
I will wear it, no problem. I don't have a shame wearing it, unlike Jay over here, who doesn't want to wear it at all.
wait a second. You're saying I have a shame?
Yes, you do.
Shame.
What is my shame? What is my shame?
I was thinking the same.
Give me the bell. Shame.
I'm gonna
All
hit you
Herbert
with a. I'm gonna hit you with a skillet.
You
All
know,
hell, Borg Queen.
you know what we should do? We should have a Fleet 31 elected position for like Queen or the Monarch. We'll put Jenny in that
The
role.
Monarch, like
The
Venture
Monarch.
Brothers.
So
Get them, my minions!
I am
Open your
waiting.
heads.
I am
You're
waiting.
waiting
I'm waiting for Fleet 31 to get its first Borg chapter.
Oh, that'd be
oh
interesting.
boy.
That would be interesting.
Hey, it helped with recruitment. Wink, wink.
This is true.
Go out, get more
Be
members.
assimilated.
Here, I'm just gonna put this tube in your neck. Don't worry about it.
Well, first they'll start on us and then move on.
Yeah.
All right. So
Start with a handshake.
if Fleet 31 were assimilated, just like Picard became Locutus, what would Galloway's name be?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Luscious.
Luscious.
No. I am Luscious of Borg. No. No.
Ludus?
Resistance is
I don't know.
futile.
One of 5.
I am
No,
ludicrous of Borg.
1 of 7.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking because of the fleet command, 7 people.
Yeah. 1 of 6.
7.
I was thinking of your kids, but yeah. But then all your family.
It's less than one ohm.
Yep. I was about to say, I was trying to think of one that we could do, like Continuous or something like that. It's like
Ludicrous of Borg.
Is he going to do a
No,
Steve now?
he said JL's, not Steve's. Yep, me and Jenny were thinking the same thing.
It's because us Texans, we're just better.
I'm not
Yeah,
Texan. I'm Nevadan.
Yeah, now you're right. Okay, us people living in Texas are better.
At what? At telling fairy
Everything.
tales?
The rootin'
Everything.
tootin' shittin'.
I'll give him that one.
Actually, it's
Everything
funny
I
because
figured.
Nevada and Texas were like 2 neighboring states that aren't neighbors. Because a lot of what happens in northern Nevada, it happens here too. It's just there's a lot more people saying y'all here than there is there.
Wow.
Jeez.
You know, Jenny,
Why?
we never discussed our episode tonight. We're gonna have to push that out to next week.
I know. Well,
Oh.
I realized that.
The 30th. We'll have to
We
push it
got
out
2
to
more
30th.
hours, and then I get to watch Discovery. So
Tangents must have tangents. Okay.
Yeah.
Tangent.
We should not be called the Tennessee. We should just call ourselves the Tangents because we never start on a good podcast here.
So what was the subject today?
We were supposed to talk about
Holiday
Enterprise's Terra Nova episode.
Oh,
shale.
that was
It's all
the-
shale.
I am looking forward to the next one.
No. No. The title was Holiday Bound.
Wait, what?
Right, but we were supposed to talk about Terra Nova episode.
So the topics
Yeah.
were crew report, Fleet 31 welcome Yara back. The next topic was the Calypso and STormblade delivers 22.5 pounds to the food bank. What are your guys' holiday plans? Which we never got
Sleep.
to.
Sleep, work apparently.
The last one, tangent.
I was about to say, if we're talking about Enterprise Terra Nova, it's like the best episode of Enterprise.
Good episode.
Really?
I think it is.
You
Just
you
for
were
the
like,
fact that it has Shao Ray's father from Stargate in it,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's
he's
what I
just
was
yelling at
thinking.
everybody about how they're just talking
The
shale.
underground.
So you're talking about the 5th episode in the first season,
Yes.
and you want to say it's the best episode out there.
Oh yeah. Of Enterprise.
Decent episode of Enterprise. My favorite still A Night in Sick Bay. That's my favorite episode of Enterprise. Or Shuttle
That
Pod
one is
1.
funny.
Shut up on one I like.
Night in Sick Bay was funny.
Mhm.
Just because of the stinking bat. Like
Yeah.
I
So-
still
Should we tell them what we think about doing for our little cruise group page and we're probably not going to do? But I
I'm
think
not
it's funny. Remember? Do you remember we were talking about what Matt said?
Raven, everything's bigger in Texas, even their egos.
oh yeah.
True.
hey,
So
man.
Thomas
before
said
I
he
go,
knew.
I got to get going. But
Okay.
so Jay, Scott, and I are on a group for the people going to cruise in 2022,
Yeah.
and we wanted to do a group cosplay. So we're just shooting around ideals, and someone goes, "So can be Dr. Phlox, and we can be all the zoo animals."
That's a good one. I have a better one for you. That'd be really awesome.
Go ahead.
Because
Okay.
you all look to be you'd be the coolest people on the ship.
Okay.
Cosplay Buckaroo Banzai and the band.
Oh, wow.
Oh no.
No, we have a good idea.
Come on,
Who's
you can
gonna be
get
the
Perfect
cowboy?
Boy. Somebody can be Perfect Boy, and he'll be the one that just gets laid a lot. Like,
No, we actually
Most
have
are
a
already
good
made.
plan. Well, we haven't discussed, but I think I know what we're all doing.
Are we still meeting on Thursday?
I'm
Yes.
assuming so.
Okay.
uh,
So-
So I
just
guess
I was gonna say, to put it out there before we end, if we do end, anybody who has Ewok costumes or Wookiee costumes, remember, if your neighbors have deer cams or wildlife cameras that go off in the middle of the night, you should dress up before Christmas and set those bastards off.
Oh my god, my friend has an Ewok costume. I might have to tell her this.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
Hi,
I mean,
Haley.
Awesome.
we did it
Hey.
to. I have a friend who had a Wookiee costume. I borrowed it, and we did it up to at my boss's place. He has a bunch of deer feeders in his yard with cameras.
Oh,
And I just
okay.
walk up and I'm like grabbing deer corn, like just moving it around. And he comes out the next day. He's like, "Some asshole dressed up as Chewbacca came and stole all my deer corn." And I'm like, "Oh,
I guess Thomas is a Bigfoot. I guess he's too hairy.
We
That
did
works
something like that
too.
with a Chewbacca costume years ago here in Australia, up in the mountains nearby. It's all just forest, and there's a Australian version of Bigfoot here called the Yowie.
Mhm.
So
The Yowie?
one of our friends, yeah, it's called the Yowie. Google it.
Oh, I know.
So
You
we-
cut out. I was
yeah.
just making sure.
Oh yeah, no worries. So he put the costume on, and we filmed them, and we all played like, "What the hell was that?" You know, this was at night, so once we put the video online, all these Bigfoot, conspiracy type people were like, "Is it real? Is it real?" And they started analyzing this video to see if it was like an actual Yowie or not. And it took like weeks before they went, "That's not, it's shit Chewbacca." Like they finally worked it out.
So Raven.
But they got around the community for a while.
So Raven. Ryan Slavers would be a good idea, but there's already a group that does that. There's actually two groups. There's Gaze in
Mhm.
Space. They have an awesome cosplaying of Orion Slavers. And there's actually another three guys that dress up.
Yeah.
Those guys are hilarious.
You know what we need to do, Jay? We need one more person to do this. Black
Uh-oh.
costumes, light on our heads. Go as the 4 lights.
I've seen someone do that before.
No.
oh, that's
No.
genius."
No.
Somebody did that on our first cruise. It was
That's
great.
easy. You don't have to.
Would,
You don't have to worry about.
would
You
Sean,
can't-
would, have they had a cruise where Patrick Stewart was there?
No, they just did it to have fun with it.
They need to get him on a cruise. If they ever found out he was on the cruise, that group has to go
Oh yeah.
and annoy the crap out of him.
Oh my god. I kind of want to do that now. Let's get 2 other people, and let's do it.
And then
Jay's
you need
like,
one guy dressed as a Cardassian who just walks around with the
Yeah.
lights. Have you seen my 5 friends?
All right. Well, I have to go. Y'all can still chat, but I gotta get ready for work. So
Good night, Jenny.
live
Yeah.
long and prosper, guys.
Live long and
Bye,
Long
y'all.
life.
prosper. All right,
Y'all.
Jenny left us.
Tom's got a good one. The Vidians. Go as Vidians.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Cool.
Robbers.
Hey, I like the idea of packlets.
Oh, you can go as the new Packlids, like the rough Packlids.
Yes.
Mhm.
Make it go.
We need your ship pieces.
It's another enterprise.
It's another enterprise. Oh, that episode. So amazing.
Raven says good night, Jenny, but she's already left for the night.
I'll tell her because I'm gonna head off here in a few too.
Oh, where do you think you're going?
I'm gonna talk to her.
No. You're not going to talk for you.
Hey,
I will
hey,
say
hey.
one thing about Enterprise,
you
going
end up-
back to that. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going
gonna
to say,
if you hold
Go ahead, Mike.
Go ahead, Mike. Quick.
if you make Scott stay, then Scott has an excuse not to ask the question. So keep that in mind.
I'm pretty sure Scott's waiting for an important day, but go ahead.
I was going to say, Enterprise has the most jacked up episode of, or one of the most jacked up decision episodes in Star Trek history. People will point out Janeway and the Tuvix thing. it pales in comparison to Archer just, leaving a group of people stranded in the middle of nowhere with no ability to get home. That one's pretty bad.
There are a lot of people that give that season of Enterprise hell, but I love it just because of the gradual. You see them gradually sliding further and further down that slope, and when your world is at stake, you start to get desperate, and those lines start to blur. And it was a real reality that they had to face.
Well, they were also
And
out
by
of
the
contact with Earth, and they had no idea if
Yeah.
Earth was still there. So they were running against time.
There was that, and then you have other episodes like, in the Pale Moonlight, same kind of idea. I'm going to do this terrible, terrible thing and, just let it go because, well, we got what we wanted in the end. Like,
I can live with it.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's just
Garrett,
wow.
Garrick's performance in that was amazing.
Mhm.
I
That's
just
one of
love the
my
one
favorites.
where he's like, go back to your quarters. I'll be there soon.
My favorite Enterprise episode is still going to be North Star. And there's just something about them running across these humans that have been stranded there and were brought there by aliens, and they're having to do, and they confront the prejudice because basically they enslaved their slavers. And it was nicely handled, and it was a unique first contact episode.
Now, Thomas, we already discussed Spock's helmet tonight. He must have went and got coffee or something.
I was going to say, the other thing about North Star that was awesome was the fact that it was a reapproach of the TOS idea that, like, there was an alien race that, like, seeded all these planets with humans sometime in the past.
Preservers. Yep.
That we never saw ever again in TOS or anything, or not TOS, but in TNG or Voyager or Deep Space Nine. It just, we stopped meeting those people.
Well, actually, in TNG,
Ravens are the
aren't they the? No, I was thinking that they were the same race that they were. Oh shoot! What was the episode where Picard and the group were
Founder?
trying? No, it had
They
to do
found
with
the founder?
it had to do with the genetic code.
The
It was
race.
like a.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the one where they found the founder. Like, it's the way I always joke about it. 'Cause it's the same actor. It's
Oh yes.
the same actress. I can't remember her name offhand, but
Solemn Jens, I think.
yes, that's right. And then it was just, it's not the same race, but they had, like, they are the ones that seeded their genetic material all over the place that created the initial revitalization or the new races. And then one of those races came to Earth and started taking humans and seeding them all over the place.
Wasn't that the Preservers and Star Trek Online covered that?
Yes. I was getting
But,
ready to mention it.
But Raven,
Yeah.
I like what Raven says here. The Prime Directive always applies except for when it doesn't.
Or on Voyager.
That's where it doesn't comes in.
Yeah.
But I don't blame Voyager. I blame the writers. You got to remember, it's also during the writer's strike.
Yeah.
So they weren't getting consistent writers. They weren't. You have Janeway looking manic depressed. I've talked about this before, though.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to hear it for the 100th time, Jay.
Mentioning
Right,
the preservers, I like how Star Trek Online handled the preservers. I like the depth that they gave the preservers, and I hope that if they ever bring the preservers or talk to them in official canon as far as the shows and such, I hope they kind of stick to that. For me, it's like I like seeing the Odyssey and other things that are appearing more in mainstream Trek, because I'm hoping that they take that the shows honor Star Trek Online enough that they keep that pocket there so that what we do and what the stories we're seeing actually exist. It's kind of like going back to Enterprise when they find the ship the Alachi. It actually ended up being one of the Alachi ships if you follow Star Trek Online.
Yeah.
And I just hope they hold to that. And I believe that they actually, the Alachi name came out of Star Trek Online, and I think it found its way into at least the novels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's in it was originally The Alachi was utilized in one of the interplay games that was never released for TNG. It was supposed to be like it was during the whole thing when they had the McClanty race. There was going to be another race after that called the Alachi, and they never fleshed it out. They never completed the game. And then STO just took it and said, "Well, we'll name this race that, and we'll make it these guys here, and we'll link them to the little people who are taking Riker and all of them in their sleep." And they kind of like did this whole link together thing, which was kind of cool. And then weren't they also linked to the Davidians somehow? The Alachi, like it was like all the three
The
of those
Alachi
races
were it was a servant. They are a servant race of the Iconians, and there were a couple of others that were servant
The
races.
Davidians were too, but they didn't really explore it in Star Trek Online too much.
The other
Yeah, the
one I remember
Davidians
was the one from
came
Night
in.
Terror.
That
They were
was
one
the
of the
Alachi.
servants.
Yeah, we know
That was the
Elorians.
Alachi.
We know the
Yeah, but
Elorians.
like there's two different Alachis. Like there's the long, spindly looking ones, and then there's the ones that look like Jawas.
The one you're talking about in Star Trek Online, when you first discover the sphere, the mission where you go back with Worf, you actually walk back to the episode of Night Terrors, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one to the. Yes, and Thomas just mentioned it. That's where the Davidians come into Star Trek Online. It was the Bonnekin episode, and you still see them floating around Drazana Station every so often.
Yeah. But they will never give you the opportunity to get that broken cane ever again. So if
They
you
will-
ever
no,
have
no,
it,
they
don't
will.
ever delete it.
No, they do actually now.
You can get the cane again?
Yeah, but you have to pay an arm and a leg for it.
Oh yeah, I mean through the mission, like because I know you could still get the generator, the transport thing, which is still a
Mud
good buff,
Spark.
but that with the cane is ludicrous. Like even in Endgame, I still use that combination.
What do you use with it?
Generally, I have a lockbox. I had a lockbox a while back, the temporal lockbox, and I got the phaser, the 29th century phaser.
Oh, okay.
So I use the cane inside the transport enhancers, drag them into it. I walk out of it and then fire into it with that gun on the secondary, and it almost always crits.
Oh, wow.
Like
I'm gonna have to try that.
it's like
I
a
never
90.
realized that.
It's like a 98% crit rate. It's
Nice.
a ludicrous crit.
Thomas, there is actually another episode that's a horror-based one, and it's on the Romulan side. It's called Abducted. Or
Oh,
Abducted.
Yeah,
Yep.
that one's
Abducted.
good.
That one's really good.
I was
How
really.
many of us?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm gonna let you go first.
I was gonna say I was really because I haven't played STO in quite a long while. I would be the one that would play to end game and then get bored with it, and then I'd jump back in when they released something that seemed interesting. So like the first time I ran through, I built the Aegis system in the old Memory Alpha where you had to go everywhere to build the stupid thing.
Ugh.
And then they changed the crafting system where you didn't have to go to Memory Alpha anymore, and I was like, oh yeah, thanks for telling me now. When I came back and they had just added the Romulan race in. So I was like, you know what? I'll play a Romulan character. That sounds cool. That was probably the best story campaign I've had in an MMO ever. Like I think I ran through it and I ended up being, I think you jump out of it at almost captain, like Commander 5 or Commander 6. And I was like, wow, that was crazy. And I did it in like 2 nights and I almost went straight through. And I'm like, I've never done that in an MMO. I always stop somewhere and have to take a rest for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But
No, it's a
great
good
story.
And the second best, the only one that comes close to it is the Gamma Quadrant one. When they did the one where you would go into the Gamma Quadrant and you were alongside Odo and the DS9 cast. That one came close, but I don't believe it topped it. I think the Romulans arc will always be the best one. Which
So
if
what
they
really-
ever figure out a way to combine the factions, I hope they don't screw that up.
Actually, that's what I was going to talk about. I know we talked about it off the air. What do you guys think the big announcement's going to be with from Al Rivera? that he's been hinting at. It's supposed to take place around the anniversary event.
There are some people that
idea.
believe that the Klingons are going to end up rolling into the Federation, kind of like everyone else is. I'm thinking it's going to be more along the lines. I'm thinking it's going to be more along the lines that we're going to have alliance fleets. That instead of the factions, that you'll actually be able to join a fleet, and it won't matter which faction you are. That's my guess.
Well, what has he been hinting? He's saying something that we're not gonna like. So I don't think it's gonna be Klingons joining the Federation. So
Something we're not going to like.
He
I know
said
what it
a
is.
small group. He said a small group of the player base will not like it. So the majority of the players will
okay.
love it, which means Federation players, which a friend of mine who's Klingon as well believes that what it means is the Federation is going to get to use Klingon ships, which
Don't we
makes
already-
sense from a monetary standpoint, because then Federation, they'll actually have a large, instead of making these ships for such a small pool, they'll be making it for a broader game-wide pool. So that's why
I know
he's
the
thinking
one
that.
I want. It won't be it, but it would piss off. I don't think it would piss off a small pound. I think it would piss off like at least half of the people. Remove all the ridiculous crap ships. Like, I'm getting sick and tired of going out or space dock when I log onto the game and there's like, oh look, the entire Voth race is here. Like, it's like every one of their city ships are apparently in orbit right now. Oh, that's interesting. Oh look, the Vengeance, it's here too. Oh, what is that? That's not even the right universe. Oh goodness.
Just get a bunch of universe class ships together.
What is?
There's no room. The Enterprise J.
Oh,
Yeah, those are pretty ridiculous too. But yeah, like, I remember when I came back the first for the, I think it was the third time, and it was like after all the things are just lockboxes. Everything's a lockbox.
Yep.
And I remember I have sitting in my inventory right now is a bunch of temporal lockboxes. I only want one ship in that game, and I haven't been able to get it.
what is
And I
it?
think
Which
I've
one?
opened at least 100 of those stupid lockboxes. The Wells class.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I have everything else. My entire crew has that phaser. Like, like every one of my crew members has
What
that
about the
phaser.
Mobius? The Mobius movie store.
I don't like that one. I want the
Really?
Wells class.
I like the Mobius better.
I want the canon one. Like, that's the thing. I don't have any non-canon ships. All of my ships are canon designs. I think the only one that I changed up a little bit is my escort class. It's a Prometheus class, but I did the one where you end up with the nacelles are offset, and the ones that are up on top are closer together than the ones on the bottom.
Okay.
That
I
was
think I
it.
know which one you're describing.
Everything else, like my Nebula, my Excelsior, my Galaxy X, they're all bone stock look.
Factory stock.
Yeah, like they look how they look in the show. So like the Mobius, you can't turn it back into a Wells class. Otherwise, I would have it.
Mm.
And I've thought about like buying the game time or whatever to get the not ISK, but to get the credits to buy the thing on the exchange.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's just so much. It's like 3 years. It's like 3 years of game time to buy the thing. And I was
Damn.
like, that's not worth it. Like, and I don't want to buy a bunch of keys because they've never changed the drop rate on those boxes.
Well, it's about 1 in every 300 keys.
I've opened over 300 of those things and never got it. That's why I'm kind of like, this is bullshit.
Is the Wells
It's a
one that
scam.
you can buy on the exchange?
No.
Yes.
The Wells?
Hey Scott.
Oh wait, yeah, you can buy it on
Gal-
the exchange.
Have you guys
but
ever
the only
have you ever seen
the
the
only-
Wells on the exchange?
Yeah, it's on there.
Yeah, it's probably on there now, but it's always like or like 300 million credits, and they're
I'll log in and
ridiculous.
find out. I'll find out. I'll go log in and go to the exchange.
It is ludicrous how much it usually is. So, and it's just one of those things where it's like, I'm not going to convert because I'm not going to play the game that much. That's the other problem. I will not sit there and farm credits. I farmed so much dilithium when we were doing the fleet shenanigans, when we were trying to build like the fleet docks and all that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't grind in that game. It's just
Yeah.
so methodically boring.
My fleet My fleet is still at tier 4 on the Starbase. It's like, we're slowly progressing through tier 5, but it's the fact that we reached the point that
I disagree, Thomas.
we had unlocked most of what we needed, and if it's something we don't need, we have other fleets in the armada that we're in, so we can just hop onto one of their star bases and buy it.
Yeah. But the thing is, Thomas, it was 300 or so million the last time I logged in, which was well over a year ago. So as the
Man.
game economy progresses, those prices go up
Hmm.
because everything's based on the price of game time.
But
So
it's a tier 5 ship. It's not even a tier 6.
no, it's not. But the thing is, it's just like the Turtle Mountain WoW. It's crap. Everybody wants that stupid thing, but it's a 1x speed mount. It doesn't go faster. It's the slowest mount in the game. And but people want it. Like
Which game is this?
wow.
Oh,
World
yeah.
of Warcraft.
You could have all maxed out ground speed, and you've done through all the gold walls, and the turtle still goes 1x speed.
Oh.
Because
It's kind of like the Bantha in Star Wars: The Old Republic.
yep, never got
You did it
faster, even
because
though everything else was.
Yeah.
Like
One of the other problems you run into in Star Trek Online is you have the people that are rich when it comes to the in-game economy, and they'll sit there and they will buy the items off the exchange just to set the market price and set it up that much higher. And so you can have a ship that is outdated that you would think you could get cheap, that they take it and they raise the price on it. So if you want it, you still got to pay a fortune for it.
It sucks.
see, like another one I want. I think it's on the low buy store or not low buy store, the whatever it's called, where you can use Plex or whatever it's called. But I want a Crossfield class because I want the stupid console for it.
So I have
I
the
want-
legendary version of it, so it comes with the Crossfield.
Yeah, see, I wanted the one. There's a console that gives you like the Lorca maneuver or something like that.
Oh, okay.
I want that on a Galaxy X because
Is that
universal, and it'll go on it.
That's on the legendary Crossfield too, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
so.
It is.
I think it's only on the legendary Crossfield.
I have
So-
to admit, I'm kind of glad I got that pack.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm also still waiting. It goes back to what do we think Al's going to say that's going to piss off players, and I think my friend may be right. The one thing that would piss off a small portion of the player base would be setting it up to where even if it's like a separate rogue Klingon faction that allies with the Federation, that allows Federation players to fly Klingon ships, or a rogue Klingon faction, excuse me. And they end up doing that. And then after they do that, I bet you anything that they are going to have a legendary Klingon pack, just like they did the original Federation pack, but that they are saving it for around the anniversary. They're saving it for this announcement because they know that if Federation players know they can fly these ships, they're more likely to buy that pack, and they will sell more of these packs.
Yeah, that's true.
300,000 to answer your question. It's still about the cheapest one is 300,000 for a tier 5.
How much was it that Mud's Market? Do you remember when they were selling it in there? It was like that pack, and it was outrageous to buy it, but you
talking about the
unlocked it.
Paradox. You mean the Paradox one?
No, it was one before that. You could end up selecting 3, and the Wells was one, and the Mobius was another, and you could have it unlimited, where you could reclaim it like any of your other ships. But if you're just going for one ship for one character, it wasn't worth it because it was like $129 or something like that when you did the math.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. I remember that, and I
Yeah.
said the same thing. I'm like, I'm not paying that much for it. I know
yeah.
I want it, but no, it's not worth it.
You're better off buying keys and selling them and on the exchange and getting it that way. But even that's more money than it's probably worth.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say everything I looked at, like, the quickest way to get it was with real money, and it was always over $100.
Wow.
And I was like, I could sell my WoW account and then buy it. But then I'm selling a WoW account with like a ludicrous amount of stuff on it and achievements you can't get anymore. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that. So I was like, I'll keep that. And then I was thinking about selling my Eve account, and then I was like, no, I can't sell that because I have 2 tunes on there that are Titan pilots. Like, if I ever want to play that game again, I can walk right back into that game and not have to pay for anything, basically. But it's just so much. Like STO. The other problem I have with STO is every time I get back on that game, I have to relearn how to play it. Because everything is completely different.
What do they change now? Or they respec you, so it's like, oh, great.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. When I log in, it's like, all I have is all these things coming up. I'm like, what the heck? And it's like, oh, you have achieved this. You have achieved this. And I have to go through and respec again.
Well, I don't know if you...
But I was good before.
I don't know if you guys have been on in the last couple of months, but every couple of weeks, it seemed like when they would actually have a server update, when you would log in, next to your skills, it would say invalid skills, respec.
Speaking of,
and they finally fixed it.
Finally fixed it today. Speaking of the background, this is a picture I got of the rewards. You're getting, was it 4 tokens plus a ship upgrade token or something like that?
For free, yeah.
Yeah, for free. As their apology because it's taken so long to fix it.
You know what I gotta say to that? 1, thank you. 2, why aren't we getting more free stuff around the holidays?
Yeah.
Like we used to?
Honestly, I believe a lot of that has to do with the person who is above Owl's head. He is, from his background before Cryptic and Star Trek Online, was in mobile games. And mobiles push these small microtransactions and such. And you'll notice that since he's been in charge, well, Perfect World, but since he's been in charge, we've had a lot more locked boxes, a lot less ships in the C store, and we've had a lot more of these promo ships on top of that. And when we do see ships, it's like the legendary ones, which, by the way, yes, I will pay for a legendary Excelsior. I can't help
what
that.
I want a La Serena, but I don't want to pay. So, for those who don't play the game, there's another higher tier evolution to the game, and it's a very limited window where you can actually purchase those ships, and they guarantee they sell for 1 billion credits. And I don't know what you call it. It's only available in the R&D research pack, and it's only available for a limited small amount of time. And if you want to get the ship, you know, people buy up those packs and they get the extra ships and they sell for 1 billion credits each.
Yeah, they are the promotional Infinity ships.
Yeah.
And they're either in the promotional R&D packs or the promotional bridge officer packs or duty officer packs.
Yeah. So if the La Serena ever comes available on that triple pack with the Mud Market, I am totally going to spend the $300 and buy it.
So is that the only ship that's like that? Is the La Serena?
No.
No, there's a few others.
There's the what is the other one? There's
the Discovery Constitution flight cruiser, the first one before the legendary. That's one.
The TOS dreadnoughts are in there.
No, the TOS dreadnoughts are in the regular pack.
Okay.
It's an Infinity class ship, but it's in the regular lockbox. Because
TOS cannon ships, right?
But now the unless you're talking about the TOS ones like the Atlas.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the because what I did is I didn't want that, but somebody told me because I wanted a couple ships, one of them being the Crossfield class, that they said, you know, get it, sell it as a TOS pack, let somebody pay 1 billion credits, and then buy what you want from it. I think you're the one who told me to do that, Mike.
I'm sorry you cut out on me there. I think I'm going to have to step out and come back in.
You can.
All right, I'm going to be right back. I'm basically getting a lot of drag. Hang on.
Yep, and speaking of real quick, Jay, I'm going to go ahead and take off. I got a couple things I got to do tonight.
All right, man. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Fun. Yep. See you guys later.
See you later. Yeah, you have the flight deck carrier, Constitution class. You have the Universe class,
the Constitution,
and the temporal light cruiser Constitution.
Yeah.
I guess. Oh, Vodwar, Juggernaut.
Yeah.
That's ugly.
Yeah.
Uh,
I like Thomas said. Wrong, Thomas. Then there were 4.
okay, the Tenzeki Dreadnought carrier is kind of cool looking.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah. I like it. It kind of looks like a Cardassian ship, but smoother. I like
You know,
Cardassian ships.
I have a T6 Infinity ship token for the regular lockbox pack,
Mhm.
and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with it. Do I want to hold on to it? I've decided against getting the latest one, which is the Synth Destroyer. But I've thought about, is it worth spending it to get an Atlas Atlas Dreadnought just to get the console off of it?
Yeah, I wouldn't go there.
Yeah.
What about getting a La Serena? Or do you already have one?
Is that a regular lockbox ship?
No.
No, it's the temp
Yeah.
or
The promo. See, this
Yeah.
this is an Infinity ship token, but it's not the Infinity promo
okay.
ship token.
Okay.
Now I could get another warship, mirror warship, or I could get another Kelvin D7 ship, which those are my 2 favorites.
I'm curious how much the La Serena. I bet you it's $1 billion credits.
Yeah, those tend to be up there, anywhere between $1 billion to $1.5 billion.
Also, they raised it, didn't they, to $1.5 billion? I forgot about that.
Mhm.
Okay, the La Serena has that stupid thing that the androids made as a console. The freaking the MacGuffin, the ultimate MacGuffin, fundamental field replicator or whatever. It's a universal console. It's not great, but it's decent.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Plus 42 engineering readiness, plus 42 scientific readiness, plus 42 tactical readiness. You can summon many pets. You can create 9 photonic allies for 30 seconds. Each is equipped with phaser beams, overload, fire at will, scatter volley, and lock trajectory. Reduces bridge officer ability recharge by 1% each second for 30 seconds. And it has a 2-minute global recload, or it has a 2-minute recharge. So global cooldown. It's not that bad. It's still not the Lorca maneuver thing, but
What do they
What
call
is your
I'm trying to
What's
look
your
it up.
favorite ship in game?
Who? Who's the question for?
All of you. Which is your favorite ship in this game?
I would say the Arbiter.
what's yours, Greg? Oh, it doesn't like you loading the game and talking. We don't know what you said. Mine. Oh, mine. Honestly, it's funny because it's actually the ambassador class. It's just they've never made it a good one.
Oh, really?
That's one of my favorite class designs they've ever done is the ambassador class.
I have heard rumors that the model for the ambassador has already been redone, and it's like the Excelsior, which is coming up. It's coming. They're going to redo it. But I'm betting it's going to be one of those that they release it as a pack where it's the existing ship, but it'll have a model refresh.
Yeah. See, one thing I've never understood in this game, they always make it, oh, you got to have this ship, this ship, this ship. I've always thought, why don't they just make it where you get like a tier 6 token and you just upgrade an existing ship if you want to? So if you want to fly around in a Miranda class that happens to be a tier 6 Miranda, you can. Like, you do whatever the hell you want. I mean, they almost let you do that as it is. It's just, it's always with ridiculous ass ships like, oh, the Vengeance class and the Section 31 cruiser and all these one-off ships or ships that you shouldn't be seeing all the time. But like
Yeah.
in universe, Mirandas were everywhere. Excelsiors were everywhere. Galaxies were everywhere, but you
So
almost
you can-
never see them.
They were
And
the
you can
workhorse.
play a Miranda. I mean, it's
Yeah.
oh shoot, I can't remember what it's the Reliant is the modern version, but you can put a Miranda skin on it. What is the one that everyone wants? A T6 Nova is one, but there's another one that's right there with it. It might be the Oberth that I'm trying
Really?
to
An
think of.
Oberth? Really?
Hey,
I mean,
I'm
it's
just
science
saying
shit,
there are
why
these
not?
people that are out there.
My thing is just I want a top tier ship of any class of the canon classes. I think if they just made it where it was just the canon classes that we've seen on screen, and you just can take a token and you can upgrade it as long as you had the ship when it first became available. So in the case of like the Nebula, I have the commander level Nebula. I bought it way long time ago. I don't want to go through the hassle of buying the new Nebula that's like, I think it's like a tier 5 or something like that Nebula. So
You know
it's
what
still not full end game, but it's like I'm just buying another antiquated ship when I already have the antiquated ship.
Speaking of antiquated ships, can you believe that the tier 5s now are like selling for 2 million credits? The Hirogen Escort 2 million, the Ymir Universe Assault Cruiser 2.2 million, you know,
And
the APU Cruiser 2.3 million.
You just can't make the money selling them anymore.
No.
I've got a few of them in my on a couple of accounts that I haven't sold just because they're so cheap. You know, if I ever have a person, and I used to use them for or people used to get them for the Admiralty system where you send the ships out, you know, little Admiralty cards. But there are so many ships that we own now that you know you don't need them.
This is true, you don't.
Oh, I just thought of something that might be the one thing that would piss off a small amount of people.
Go ahead. I'm curious.
They combine the servers.
What servers are you referring to?
PS4, Xbox, and PC. They combine the shards.
I
That
would
would
like
piss. Yeah, it would. Most people would like it, but it sure as hell would piss off
I was going to
people
say
that spent the money to upgrade their Xbox accounts and their PlayStation accounts to get more slots and this, that, and the other when they already had PC accounts with that shit, and then now they combined it.
that no, they couldn't do that because it's different systems. But how many cross-faction games do you have now that are where it doesn't matter if you're on a PC, even a smartphone now?
Well,
and
the thing
have
is,
all
they
these
didn't.
ways into them.
It's not much different. That was the one thing. Like, I had a friend who worked at Perfect World in IT. He said that the servers were not fundamentally different. The way they had to make it to allow it to connect through PlayStation Network and Xbox Live, they had to have a separate server because the existing server, they couldn't get latency. They couldn't keep up ping times with people connecting through the services of Xbox Live and PlayStation Network. So they had to come up with a workaround. And that workaround was to make new servers closer to areas. And they sharded it. I mean, now with, internet speeds gone up in the past, 2 or 3 years with, you got all the advancements and with solid states and everything else that they're able to do, they might be able to combine the shards at this point.
It's something I never thought of.
That might actually kind of get a small minority of people kind of miffed because that, and then also, no offense to console players, but I will tell you right now, in this type of a game, you will never compete in PvP against a PC player.
Yeah.
There's just no way. You got 12 keystrokes. I got 200. Like, easily at one or two hands. So there's just no way in heck. And I can macro everything if I wanted to with other applications. You can't do that on
I can't imagine the way they would do it on an Xbox because now I play PC and I use a controller. or a game controller, but I have it set up to where it's all mapped to keyboards. So I'm just using it's a different way of using the keyboard. And the keyboard's here if I need it. But
Yes.
it's like I have a shift key, a control key, and an alt key that are all set into this. So it's like I have all the combinations and I can run it and I can play it. I can't imagine. I tried doing an Xbox and I just left it. It's like, I can't do as much there as I can with a PC.
Right. And that's part of the problem. Like, there's certain things you just couldn't do. Like, I mean, I have some weird achievements in STO from back in the day. Like, I was on the server. I think me and my group, we were like one of the first people to down Crystalline Entity.
I remember that, Zake. Yeah.
We were like the 13th or something to figure it out, because we were the ones that literally said, it's like, hey, every time somebody drops mines in this second phase, it reboots back to the beginning. Stop dropping mines. Like, don't drop mines at all. Ignore mines. And the second we did that, we managed to beat him. But everybody back in those days wanted mines. They were like in love with mines, so they just drop them everywhere. And every time he'd blow one of those shards up, and just heal him, and you could not beat him.
And that makes me think about the original pugs. It's like pugs are still bad now, but the original pugs, man, it's like there was a certain way to do it. But if you pug, you could even have like a team of like 3, but there would be 2 in there that if there was a way to destroy that scenario, their stupidity would do it. And it's because they wouldn't listen.
We'd have somebody drop. Because it was, how many players was it? It was like 20 in Crystalline Entity, I think, at the beginning. It's like 20 players. We would get a group of 20 that knew what we were doing, and then one of them would drop. And then the system would pug somebody in. And then that pug would come in, and it was like, oh, flip a coin. Let's see if we're going to get boned or not. And then it's like, mine dropper. Oh, well, we're boned. And then everybody just leave. Like, they're like, what? We're done.
Think about running the original Borg TFO ground missions. And you want to talk about something, because you had to work together as a team. Yeah. And you would always have those that would not listen. And it's
Don't
we used to lead them out. When we found the ones that didn't like listening, we would like, hey, we're killing all over here. There's a bunch of good loot over here. And then we just let them die in the hopes that they would disconnect and we get new pugs. Because seriously, those were like impossible missions. I hated those missions for the longest time. Like, I avoided all the Borg missions because I'm like, they're just stupid. They're just too damn hard. Like, they weren't thinking about the fact that nobody talks in this game.
Yep.
I haven't run one of those in so long. I'm going to have to give them a try again.
See, I need to play back through the game as Federation, Stockbone Federation, from the beginning, so I can actually learn how to play the game properly. Because my guy's like a fleet admiral, and every time I log into him, I end up going and getting in one of my ships and going and trying to do something, and it's like, God, the mechanics are changed so much, and well, this still works, but this doesn't work at all.
Well, they respec you back to 0, and it's like, I had a perfect setup, you bastards.
And then you can't remember it because it's been so long, or it's just flat not possible to do it anymore because they've removed the abilities.
Yep.
There is a running joke in my fleet that when I start to do something, the gig is up and Cryptic is going to weed it out within the next 2 months. Because it's like, there are certain tricks that people will do, and I'll wait. And when I finally get around to doing it, or I get around to trying this new thing, they will the Nerf hammer will swing, and it just completely changes everything. It's like an ox fired wheel used to be the main thing, and it's still strong. But it's like things like that, when I would finally get around to starting to try that, that's when beam overload becomes the big thing, and it just doesn't do the crits that it used to, or something like that. Like weapons, cannons. When I finally started using a specific type of cannon, then that's when the procs started becoming, instead of with every shot, it became with like every cycle, that type thing.
Because I remember Polaron was like that for a while. There was a console where you could make it crit on like every shot almost.
The one I'm waiting right now to see if it does this is the Baul anti-proton, because I've finally got a chip that's set up with this, and it's supposed to be, and it's the refracting. It's like you shoot and it does all the refracting, and that's what causes the damage. So I'm expecting that'll probably get nerfed next. Mark my words.
I wonder if my friend had a trick in ground. He was a tactical, and he would run tactical, but he had a bunch of engineering stuff too, so he kind of dual spec'd. And one of the things he would do is he'd call the security team down, and then he'd hit something on a bridge crew. One of his crew members that's there that would reset his global cooldowns, and then he'd do it again. And then he had a device that did it, and he'd do it again. And he ended up with like 30 of these fuckers. It's like, oh, I brought an army. And he just rock around in missions and be one time, like the group missions that you're supposed to have like 4 or 5 players for. Yeah. He'd one man them because he's got like him, his 4 away team, and then he has like 30 zombie freaking security officers that fire on whatever he fires at.
And that was probably before you could get the Borg ability that would allow you to assimilate.
Jeez.
So when you would kill off, then they would beam back in as an assimilated person that is part of your team.
God.
Yeah. I remember one time we were playing the mission. You're on Paradise or on Nimbus 3.
Yes.
And you're doing around the stuff for the Romulan law.
That's one of my favorite sets.
Great mission. And we're fighting the Sarlaccs. As I call them, the sandworms. Yeah. And he did this in front of this like group of like 2 or 3 players that were getting their butt handed to him, and he just did this whole like thing, and he just had so many of these guys, and they're like messages like, "Is that a glitch?" And he's like, "No, you just do this, and you get this freaking item and this kit," and he's like telling him how to do it, and he's like, "That's got to be a glitch," and they reported him for hacking the game. And I remember he got a message from the admin, and then the admin like transported him into a black zone where there was like basically nothing, and then told him to do it. Like he reset all his cooldowns, set him to stock, and he's like, "I need you to do this exactly how you supposedly do it, how you get all these people." And he did it, and the admin looked at it, and he's like, "Nope, you're not hacking at all. It's just something that you're allowed to do apparently." Cool.
Gameplay.
And he passed it on, but I remember he still played like that, like at least a year after that. So,
I guess a question for you guys in any
bonkers, bro. What's
that?
that?
Yeah. Who's running on the lifetime account, or are you paying subscriptions?
Lifetime.
Yep. Anyone on the side here watching?
Now, here's the thing: out of everybody here, have you been to the captain's table in, I don't know, half a decade?
Yes, I do, because they completely redid it, and it's now like a Starbase. It has everything that you would want.
Wait. It has a Starbase?
It has banks. You can change your ship there. You have the customization tailors. You have access to the exchange.
I've never had the banks.
Everything. When you go in, there's now, and then once you go into the doorway, instead of going straight in, there's now a hallway that goes over to the right. And if you follow that down, you have this new area.
Okay,
because that was one thing. Like, I'd look at it and I would be like, there's that stupid stuff. Fuck it. I just leave, because I was like, I remember I used to go to that. Like, I was like, oh, cool, I could talk to the Klingon characters.
Yeah.
Never anybody in there.
No.
Like, and I was like,
they never promoted it. Just like Andor has never been fixed.
And then you also, what I used to like about it is, and I don't know if they still do this, when you would go in, the maitre d' that's there when you first get in would always have like this message, and it was like a hint as what was coming up next in the game.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I miss about Destal. Talk about a name from the past, back when he ran the game, is he would give us an idea as to what was coming down the pike. And now they're so secretive. They don't want you to know in case they supposedly can't do it. And that's kind of frustrating. And God help anyone that gets a hold of a leak and starts, trying to figure that out, because they'll go after them.
Another one that I think could piss some people off, but I think it would piss off more than half the people. Go back to the original astrometric system.
Ugh. Oh, please. No.
It was pretty. Don't get me wrong. It was pretty.
It
All
was?
right.
It was god awful to use, though. Let's make paths through space, but let's make them convoluted and make them waste time. Like,
Now, Galloway, I know you has everyone gone through the new Klingon missions in game?
No.
Okay. So
I
won't
haven't
go
even
off-
logged in. The last time I logged in during Picard to get the uniform.
Okay.
Because they said they were giving
Yeah,
it
that's
free.
what I do. If there's a uniform being mentioned, I'm on there just so I can secure it.
My problem was I was pissed off because I never got any type of email or anything about the Deep Space Nine, about the wormhole opening up and the fleet that got lost coming back through.
Mhm.
Never heard a thing about it. Never saw an ad, never did anything. Nobody was talking about it that I knew. So when I logged back into the game, you couldn't even do the mission anymore. And I was like, "Oh, this is retarded." The one thing I've been waiting for this game to do for years, and they finally do it, and I miss it. So I was kind of like butthurt, and I just like basically threw the game away for a while.
Hey, look, it's the Moorhead.
Wait, is that the
That's
whatchamacallit class?
That's the Bellerophon class. See? Same ship as this.
Oh, Bellerophon. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. It's my flagship for Fleet 31.
Do they have the Zhang He or whatever the class from Picard yet?
The classroom Picard?
Yeah, they do, but it's in the lockbox.
Of course it is. It's always in the lockbox.
It's basically a what do you call it? I want to say Avenger, but it's an Arbiter. It's basically an Arbiter with a little bit more steroids kicked in.
Yeah. Well, I don't know
'Cause
why
I've got
I'm
that.
coming to jump. Here we go. I'm in.
How hard would it be to actually 1 week stream all of us playing?
I'd have
like
to
when,
download the game and
Guardian
update
does.
it, so that's going to take a year. Like,
Well, I'm logging into the captain's table now.
yeah, I want to see this because I haven't seen it in probably almost a decade.
So this
All
all
right.
looks the same.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
this
keep going
looks-
through. And I think it's when you get into the bar area, you'll be able to head to the right, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the bar
Look
looks
to your right.
Yeah.
All right,
The
look over
bar's
to the
been
right.
revamped a little bit. That's
Just
yeah,
follow
that's
the
new.
hallway.
It's just like before, though. There's nobody in here. Like,
Yep.
oh,
Which
what
is kind of cool if you don't want to have to deal with fleet invites and all that
Right.
other stuff.
I mean, it's not organized very well, but
Or the people coming around you and floating disco balls.
There's the exchange. I guess you talk to a wholesaler. Basic armor, okay.
But it's also
Taylor.
good if you want to sell loot that you've picked up, salvage.
Starship repairs there, okay. And then what was the other one? Treat injuries, purchase components. Here are the shift ones you're talking about. Select
the one I love that they finally done it. This is like the rooms on private WoW servers that they make, where it just has everything in one little room.
Yeah.
Those are so awesome.
And there are a few places that are like this. It's like the other place I like is Delta Quadrant Command, which is inside the sphere that's in the Delta Quadrant. When you go there, you've got everything that's there that you would ever need under one roof.
Oh yeah, Star Trek Shatrith.
Yeah. This is this can be, you can imagine this is a Wells class.
It's not though. It looks ridiculous. Like the other thing I was looking, like I think I have 3 of them. I think I have 3 of the Aeons, the shuttles, but I've never managed to pull the ship out of the box. And why did you name a ship Oakland? Were you just asking for it to be destroyed? Like,
Actually, I don't think I ever changed the name.
oh,
I
because yeah,
haven't even played it yet. See that? I haven't even played it. It'll get renamed when I actually get ready.
CUY. What is it?
It's a Cardassian ship.
Oh,
Do you know what I hate about this game is when they release a ship that you have been waiting for and they give it the worst possible seating.
Oh,
The
yeah,
bridge office. Or or there's something about it that just gimps it.
see, that's the other one. I don't understand why they haven't just made it where there's a top tier ship, like thing you can get, and it just has universal. Everything's gray. You put whatever the hell you want on it, mix and match, do whatever you want. Just like make it where it's -1 slot. Like instead of having 3 of this, 3 of this, and 2 of this, so you have a total of 8 slots for science, engineering, for consoles. Make it where it has 7, so you have 1 less, but you're putting 7 unique and experimental craps on there, and let people have fun with it. But
yeah, the closest we have to that is right now is the Bird of Prey.
Yeah,
I remember when the Bird of Prey first came out. It was a very nice ship. Nowadays, it's like, The Raptors seem to be the best ships in the Klingon.
Wait for that Federation, for the Federation legendary Bird of Prey. It's coming.
here's another one I'm going to ask because this will date me too. Did they ever flesh out the community made content, or did they kill that?
They got rid of it.
They killed it.
Now you get a title. That's it.
Yeah, if you see people walking around with the Genesis logo on their arm or a badge, they used to do content. They used to make content for it.
I remember playing some of them because there were some missions you could play. Like there was one that was a really good Kobayashi Maru scenario that someone made, and I had played it for a while. I played it a couple times, but yeah.
I agree, Raven. If you don't play enough right now, it's not worth a sub. But I've been playing since like 10 years, so.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. Like when they
out.
released that Lifetime, I just looked at it as I'm like, this is Star Trek Online. It'll probably be around in one shape, form, or another for at least 20 years. So spending I think it was like $200 and something when I paid for it. I was like, yeah, it'll be worth it.
Now.
Oh yeah, it's
definitely paid itself off by now.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is that for a while there, when they first went, when they added the Plex or whatever it was, the in-game premium currency, used to get quite a bit of it every month because they made the game free, and they're like, crap, we kind of screwed these guys over. We'll just give them this. And I remember getting enough of that, like it let me buy when they updated the game to the next level cap, it let me basically buy one of the new ships for basically, for my case, for free.
Are you saying Zen, not Plex?
Or Zen. I call it Plex. I played too many
We still get them.
MMOs.
We still get them. I'm still calling Zen.
See, like I'll forget its credits and I'll call it ISK because I played Eve for so bloody long. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Like I'll be talking to my friend who plays STO and I'll be like, yeah, it's only like 30 million ISK. And he'll be like, what are you talking about? I'm like, credits or whatever. Yeah, like fleet marks. Like
I've been around since closed beta. And since they first started. And here's a question for all of you. How long do you think this game can go before they have to redo the engine that powers the whole thing? Or do you think they'll be able to escape that?
Well, it depends what they're doing. I mean, because we know Magic the Gathering is coming out, and they're using the same current engine, so we know that they're not working on it currently.
See, as far as Perfect World is concerned, as long as they make money on it, they'll continue beating the dead horse. Because look at their Korean ones. They have a bunch of Korean MMOs, and I've played some of them. They're not that bad. But they're using ancient systems. Like, one of them I was playing, still awesome, It's using an engine that looks like Unreal Tournament.
It's
Like-
still the C. Thomas is still the C store, not the Z store. I don't know who keeps saying that.
I remember it being a Z store at some point.
No, it's always been the C store. It's the cryptic store.
Hmm.
People call it the Z store because they think because it's Zen. No, it's always been the cryptic store.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say that I think is the biggest strength that Cryptic and Star Trek Online has, it's the people that they attract as far as the developers. They've gotten some really creative people that have done some great things. I mean, look at the quality of the ship models now versus then. Look at how when Thomas Maroney came in, he helped redesign a lot of the interface. And since then, we've had someone else come in that took it and redefined it even more. This game, what we have now is the engine may be the same, but the game, the whole game that we see, it looks completely different.
Oh, yeah.
Now, with that said, I do love Star Trek Online. Don't get me wrong, but there are other games out there like BioWare, who's a horrible company to work with, right, or to play with. Have a
Mhm.
better engine, have a better game, have more options that don't cost them. One of the things Al said, and it was during one of the panels, is the reason part of the limitations to the game is the engine, and to find a workaround is this: it's money. It costs them a lot of money to find a workaround to fix something that like for example, the multi-tier levels, like in Star Wars: The Old Republic, right? You had the light side, you had the dark side, and you had the neutral side. They can't do that in Star Trek Online because if they did, it'd be a lot of money to find a workaround to get the system to recognize those options. Versus
Right.
BioWare can just do it whenever they want. It's already built into their system.
Yeah,
And
see,
World of
when they
Warcraft is the same thing.
add the thing is with Cryptic and Perfect World, when they want to add stuff like that, they're pretty good about taking the initial core and just figuring out a way to do it in a modular sense so that it can be added. But yeah, at some point the tree is gonna, get to the point where you can't put that any more tree houses in it.
Well, like one of the things that's kind of annoying me right now is I'm playing a KDF character and leveling it up. I would love to get the KDF's version of certain stories, like the Discovery, for example. Maybe give us some Laurel or something like that instead of just constantly like, oh, this is a Federation historical program. Tell me what you think about it. Then you don't really get to talk about it. You just listen to the Chancellor whine for a little bit.
See, the thing is when the game was originally made, and this is the thing I remember and why I've never made a Klingon character. They said flat out and plain, Klingons are going to be PvP.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to be the ones, they're going to be another enemy for Federation players running around in the galaxy. It's going to be the player aspect. You go near Klingon space, you're going to have to deal with not only NPCs, but you're going to have to deal with PCs coming after you.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, that just means I'm not going to be down here for very long. Because I cannot stand PvP. I've hated it since WoW. I've never enjoyed it. So it's just not for me. I rather have story missions. And the thing is like, I wish they would have done a full spectrum like Klingon character where if you wanted to, you could totally go and do your own thing and be PvP. But they should have had some sort of storyline, like your character is, a member of a house, and then the house goes into decline, and you're trying to find a way to bring your house back onto the High Council or something. Like, do something.
Yeah.
But and they might have done that now. I know that they just pressed this big Klingon release, but I haven't read anything about it other than I know Gowron's in it because I saw his eyes pop out of his head.
Not Gowron. One
Granddaddy.
Gowron's ancestor.
Whatever. It's Gowron. His eye pops out of his head.
It's Robert.
Well, we know it's hereditary.
Yeah. He's got that disease.
The
Chihuahua eye disease, yeah.
But let me swing it around. All right, now when they released the Dominion faction, and even the Romulans before that, you played all the way through that. How do you feel about the Romulans when they get to that certain point? They're able to choose: am I allied with the Klingons or am I allied with the Federation? And how would you feel if the Klingons were set up in such a way that when you reached a certain point, you could choose to be on a Klingon path that is more distant from the Federation, or to be on a Klingon path that is right alongside the Federation, just like the Romulans.
For me, put it this way: with the new release, as I haven't played it, have they added a story mode where I can actually play a character through a story
Yes.
up to a point? Okay.
Yes.
So if that is the case, then yes. And I'll tell you, every time I'm going to side with the Romulans, because that would probably be an option, because they still have some continuing storyline here and there after that fact. The Federation, for the same reason. And I wouldn't be allying with the Klingons. Like, I'd be allying with where the story goes, so to speak. Because I'm not a PvPer. Like,
I think we can thank Destal for it, but they actually, when it was originally PvP, they finally made it PvE, to where you have these starting missions that'll take you on up, and they're remastering those now, and they're changing the progression of it, which is another thing that makes you wonder: are they going to put us to a point where they become more like the Romulans, where you can choose to go one path and follow like Martok, or another path and you follow Jimpak? And I don't want to say too much, because I don't want to give away in case you go to play those missions. But we're right now, that's a possibility. That's something that when they do the next mission, we could have it to where you have an empire that is more like what you would have seen in it kind of reminds me of the episodes in TNG where you had the Klingon Civil War, where one side was more aligned with the Romulans and one was a lot more aligned with the Federation. That could be a possibility. I don't know.
No, see, I hear what you're saying, but I remember Al once saying that they can't make the Klingons complete allies. I think the best we're going to get is maybe a liberated faction of Klingons that you can play.
And you would probably have to roll new characters.
Yes, but I'm saying, but you'll be able to play. You'll play the original Klingon content up to a point, but it won't be tied directly into Jempak. That's what he said. He said if they could roll it over again, they would have never made it that way. They would never made it so like Jempak, because if you try to remove Jempak's character, it just breaks the whole tree, the episode tree.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking of it being separated out.
Yeah,
and that's why my friends are. That's why they're speculating, because the one thing you can't do is I cannot see us killing someone like Jempak, leader of the High Council, because then you go back to Kronos and who's in the Great Hall? Jempak. Oh, but we just killed him. Well, I do want the Great Coat though.
No,
but they did that in WoW. I mean, I've killed Sylvanas at least like 50 times. She's still in Undercity, but every time I go there. Even though she's supposed to be in the afterlife.
You know, New Romulus.
Resurrection spells.
Like even New Romulus. New Romulus was destroyed during the Iconian War. I think that's pretty safe to talk about. But yeah, every time you go to New Romulus, it looks just fine.
Yeah. Bajor, because didn't Bajor get ransacked when the Dominion came out of the wormhole?
Actually, I don't think New Romulus was destroyed. It was damaged, but it wasn't destroyed.
Yeah, it was jacked up, yeah.
But then again, so was Earth Space Dock and Earth. Oh, wait, we did replace Earth Space Dock, didn't we?
I don't know. I think we'll be replacing it again. Hey, I got a question before we get.
It's got good insurance.
I got a question before we go for the night, though. Do you think we're going to go 32nd century in Stowe?
It will at some point.
I hope so.
The question is, how are they going to do it? Especially
jump there? Or you
time
think
travel.
Do you think they're going to jump to the 32nd century, or do you think they're just going to jump there for a mission and then come back?
You'll jump there for a string of missions.
Okay.
Yep.
And then what'll happen is you'll get to the point where you can get one of the ships, like the Eisenberg class or whatever, or even better, you'll go there, and when you do the missions there, they'll be repeatable like dailies, and you get lock boxes. And then in the lock boxes, you can get keys that'll give you the ships from the 32nd century. This is what'll
Something
happen.
like that. Yeah.
But then they're going to have to. It'll be interesting to see how they skirt around the issue of time travel is outlawed.
Well, they've already kind of broke that.
Alternate universe.
Oh, we're not really.
That will, but that will kill us.
I want to after we end this, before we go, I do have a thing I want to ask all of you that surrounds that. I don't want to go into it right now because we're not going to be. We don't want to do
Guys,
spoilers for it.
I think we can go ahead and call it a night. I mean, we're at 2 hours 43 minutes already, so I mean, because we could talk honestly about another 6 hours about Star Trek Online and still not finish.
Yeah, just make it an After Dark,
You know, I haven't never actually thought of that about making an After Dark show.
Hey.
I should. We should talk, Russell.
Oh, I'll be all over a Fleet Star Trek Online show, by the way.
All right, guys. So I think for now we're just gonna say good night to everybody, and then we'll talk some more offline. All right, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Peace and long life.
Live long and prosper.
Kapla.